Yeah.
All right. In 3, 2, 1. You did my one for me? Welcome back to a new episode of the official Fireside podcast. I'm joined by two great guests, plus my head chef, Owen Gutzmer. But back to the guests. We got Daryan Donadio.
Yo.
And we also got Jefferson Snedegar.
Hello.
Yes. A very wholesome hello and a very wholesome cow t-shirt.
Thank you.
Great to see you both today.
I've been really getting into cow print.
Yeah.
By really getting into it, I have the one shirt, but
Just
I
the one
like
shirt?
it a lot.
I recently ordered a leopard print shirt.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have it. I wanted to wear it for this episode, but it didn't arrive on time. But I felt like I needed a party shirt for when I move.
Well, I'll be eagerly anticipating
Yeah.
the next, just whatever content I can see you with a leopard shirt.
With the leopard shirt. All right. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be weird making content after like moving and all that, just because, well, first of all, I won't have like this private, I'll just punch my microphone. I won't have like this private like space to record in. I'm hoping to get my computer. I don't know how big my bedroom's going to be, but I'm hoping to fit it into my bedroom so that I can just walk 2 feet and start recording videos. Because it is kind of a chore walking across, but
You got to be a little bit careful though, so you separate your work and home kind of spaces too,
Word. I will be sure to do that, Owen. Thank you for the advice. Guys, I found an advertisement on a fortune cookie today. I was so upset.
And you didn't get a fortune?
No, I got a
You got
fortune.
an advertisement?
I got an advertisement on my fortune cookie.
What was it for?
It was it was like, I didn't click or there was a QR code on it, but it was like the slogan was, what was it? Your dream vacation is right here. And so it must have been like a timeshare or like some travel sites. Like you said, Trivago, something like that. I have no idea. I didn't click the QR code, but I've never been I'm a big supporter of the capitalist system as long as it's like well regulated, but I don't know. This takes it too far. I think
it's kind of a slap
I'm
in the face.
I'm officially converting to communism after this.
It's interesting to me. How do you even, as a company, who do you reach out to and how do you get your advertisement onto the inside of a fortune cookie?
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
And can I do that? Is that feasible? Could I have a QR code on fortune cookies that just leads to a picture of my face?
I would love that. I'd just put your face on the back of the fortune cookie.
That's another idea.
Or
Who do I
onto the
contact for
cookie
that?
itself?
Yes.
Just like you break your face in half and your mouth is like the crevice that you crack open. So it's like your fortune comes out of your mouth.
You have to pull it out of me. It's as if I am saying it when I'm not really there.
Exactly. Yes.
QR code that leads to a voice clip of him saying it.
And it's only like 3 variations because I'm lazy. I'm not going to give you that much.
Or you're only going to read 3 fortunes, but there's going to be 50 of them. So you just get whatever, like...
It's like a collectible.
It just doesn't match. Yeah, collect all of the fortunes.
Collect all 3 fortunes.
All 3 of your fortunes. This fire, I'm having so much trouble with it. I visited my grandparents today for maybe the last time.
Oh.
So that's why I was running so late when
See,
you guys
given
came.
the context we have, that sounds a lot better than what it could have been.
I mean, the last time in a while.
Context
of him moving away.
I was looking at you like I'm not picking up.
Oh.
I totally thought something else.
They gonna die. Okay, yeah, sure thing. Yeah, hopefully this fire doesn't go out in the middle.
I give it 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. So, Jefferson, you've lived in a completely different place, but Mr. Daryan Donadio, you've stayed in Rockford, right? The entire time?
Yep.
Do you have a goal for where you want to live at some point?
It really depends on how my career plays out.
Yeah.
I want to be I want to settle into a team as a head coach. If I make the professional, I'm not saying NFL level, but professional level football, I'd like to be there long term, settle down. Or if I'm at coaching at college, I want to coach D1. I'm probably gonna start at D3 at RU, if what I'm doing works out and they're like, hey, we won't bring you back full time. But any of the Florida teams, I would love to live in Florida.
A lot of people have been moving to Florida. Have you guys seen that graph of like the states that are losing the most places and the states that are gaining the most, or like the states that are losing the most people? I think I said places, but the states that are gaining the most. I think Illinois is like number 3 for most people lost.
We're just hemorrhaging people?
I mean,
pretty much.
Oh, no.
Nothing's good in Illinois besides the bean in Chicago.
I think that's all you
better.
need. As somebody, I think all you need is the bean in Chicago.
All you
That's a
need
reason
is
for people to
bean.
come. I go to I go to Northwestern
Is
school
that
in
enough
Evanston.
to live? Because he said to come. You didn't say to
I
live.
think it's enough to live.
Okay.
You see,
Enough
so
to live.
I go to Northwestern, a school up in Evanston, and when I tell people I'm from Rockford, they think it's a suburb of Chicago.
That's-
always.
They
They're
always think that.
like.
And all these kids from New York or California or Florida who come to school here, they're like, "You're from Chicago," which we're not. It's Rockford.
No,
They
it's an hour away.
They say, "What's cool to do here? What do I do when I go to downtown Chicago?" And it's
I've never
too much
been to
effort to
downtown
explain
Chicago.
that I'm not really from here, so I just say the bean.
Yeah,
That's what you do.
That's
because
kind
that
of
is
the-
what you do in Chicago, and it's pretty great. I have to
It
say,
is pretty great.
I don't
Every
think
time.
I've had a bad experience at the bean. It's only been positive.
Yeah, that's like. I don't know. I feel like there's not really anything else to do in Chicago, though,
I
other
mean,
than like
given-
wander around the
Given
streets.
me as a sports fan, the Blackhawks are there.
True.
That's the only reason I'd go. Or if like a band that I'm really into
Yeah.
performs there.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
That's a big one. They
do have-
Chicago's good for concerts,
'Cause
and they got a pretty cool aquarium too.
I'm
They do have
Oh
a cool
shit! I
aquarium.
forgot
Yeah.
about all the museums.
Oh, yeah.
They do have strong museum game.
I don't know, the field museums, like it's cool to see all the stuff, but like I just get kind of bored at museums. I go through them, but I like read everything really fast, so
Yeah.
like I go through them really quick. I'm like, oh, that was cool, and then I'm done in like an hour though.
That's why the Museum of Science and Industry is fun, because you don't have to really read much. You just look at cool shit.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like the tops that don't really spin, but they just vibrate and they stay up. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like, I don't know. Those were so cool. And like, I used it once and then it sat in my room for, I don't think I have it anymore. I don't know where it is.
Damn, man's
But I
lost
was like,
it.
I'm going to play with this forever. And then, nope.
Darren, you were saying something about concerts?
Yeah. I've been to one concert ever. I'm
And
sad.
what was it?
It was September 4th of 2021 to see Fozzy,
Okay.
great rock band. But I would love to go to Chicago for. I know there was a music festival there in 2019.
Pitchfork does an end of the summer festival in Chicago.
There's
think-
a couple festivals.
that's the one.
Lollapalooza goes there. Riot Fest is September, which I'm
Oh,
going.
no, I
that.
want
I'm
to
going
Riot
to that.
Fest?
I'm going to see. Yeah, because My Chemical Romance is headlining Friday, and
Oh,
Jeff
hell yeah.
Rosenstock is playing Friday, and so I'm going that day. And then I'm also going Sunday because Mom Jeans is going to be there, and Less Than Jake. And I heard that Jeff Rosenstock would be there on Sunday too, doing a ska set. So I'm going to be doing that this September.
Wait, what days in September is it?
I think it's 16th, 17th, and 18th.
I've been to one concert and it was 5 minutes of a Halsey concert, the one in New York.
New York? I didn't go on that trip.
Oh, you didn't go, right?
No.
Oh, and you were there though, right? Did you go to the Halsey concert?
I didn't go to the concert. No, I didn't.
I went there. I got in. Like, it was a free show since it was on
Yeah.
the Today Show, so you could just go in after getting through security. But I got in, and right as I got in, she was like, "All right, guys, that was me. Have a good day."
Well, yeah, they play like 2 songs max on like the Today Show. You
Yeah.
know, like.
So that was my.
But at least you can say you
concert
saw
experience.
Halsey.
I didn't even see her. I just heard her voice.
Yeah,
from
that's
even worse.
I went to WrestleMania in like 2011, 2012. I think it was 2012, and it was The Rock and John Cena as the main event. And John Cena came out with Machine Gun Kelly.
Wait, John Cena?
Yeah, John Cena.
You saw John Cena?
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
I saw him when he was here too. He
Wait.
actually touched my hand. I actually touched John Cena's hand when he was here.
No way.
But I didn't see
Holy
him.
shit.
Yeah. But when I
Sorry, it took me a second. I'm picking up these jokes slow today.
Yeah, but when I went to WrestleMania in Miami, and it was The Rock and John Cena were the main event, and Machine Gun Kelly played the John Cena's entry music, and Flo Rida did The Rock.
Holy shit! What a lineup.
So I guess I could say I saw Machine Gun Kelly and Flo Rida.
Do you want to say you've seen MGK live though?
I don't know.
I feel like that's more of a
Machine Gun
punishment.
Kelly from Bird Box fame. He was in
No,
that movie.
MGK pissed me off because he did a cover of Aerials by System of a Down, and it was shit.
Word.
It was terrible. He should never do that shit.
transitioned
I figured
to,
you didn't
a
like
punk
him because
thing.
you were an Eminem fan.
Well, I've grown out of Eminem. I don't really listen. I listen to his sadder songs. That's in big quotes because that's just my definition of it.
Yeah.
I don't consider Love the Way You Lie a sad song.
What made you
Traditionally.
transition out of your Eminem phase? Because it wasn't too long ago that you were still a hardcore fan. And let me clear this up. It's okay to be an Eminem fan.
I'm not saying it's
I just
wrong.
strongly disagree with you.
Are you an Eminem hater, Daniel?
All right, you can't say that Eminem changed a lot about rap music.
He literally
right?
brought us
and that
50
he did
Cent.
a lot.
Yeah.
The
no,
stuff that he
especially in his-
recently came out with was dog shit, if I'm being totally honest.
Oh, I
I
wouldn't
don't know.
say
I
that.
kind of like that's an awfully
I like
hot
the
coffee pot.
That's an awfully hot
Like, drop it
coffee
on
pot.
Donald Trump's head. Probably
Playing
not.
Fortnite
That was
with your
fun.
grandma's
I like that.
That's my only real criticism of him now is he has like the same flow and it's this weird staccato, like awfully hot coffee pot. I'm
you
a
can't-
got to, whatever. It's like that same flow on like almost every song. I feel like when, back in his early days when he's like, I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the real Shady, all you other Slim Shadys. Like he was probably not in a good state of mind at that time, but at least he
No.
made good music.
I mean,
No,
I
yeah.
personally say he still does. I don't just start not liking because of whatever the media says. I don't
Yeah,
care
so
about
it's
that.
not like you're not
not
a fan. It's just
like his stuff. I'm just not hardcore anymore.
yeah. So
What
what
do
have you
people, like Eminem can change, but people change.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You just stray away from what you once were a big fan of. It
Yeah.
happens with everyone.
I used to listen to Kanye West like all the time,
I've
and
never-
now it's like if a song comes on, I won't skip it. Yeah, most of the time. I'm still ashamed of in 6th grade. I exclusively listened to 21 Pilots, and going back and listening to their songs, they made really good music. It's like really clean
Yeah.
and like just cleanly produced. It's really catchy, but I just can't listen to it because it just makes me feel so corny and cringe.
Dude, want to know what? What made me feel so much better about listening to 21 Pilots was, so my grandfather, he passed away maybe 5 years ago. He was in like a hard rock band, played the drums. He was really cool.
Uh-huh.
And he was into like Marilyn Manson, Ozzy Osbourne, all that stuff. And I'm going through and I'm looking through his CDs and he had Blurry Face.
Oh shit.
And I was like, man, this dude's down with good music.
Dude, it
It
is
made me
a
feel really
banging
good about
album,
myself.
but I feel weird listening to it now, even though it catches my ear.
Oh, nah. I still listen to that
Yeah.
stuff. I'll bump that anytime.
I gotta admit, I was a
Except
21
Ride's
Pilots
kind of
hater.
overplayed. Same
Yeah.
with Stressed Out.
I was a hater back in middle school.
I
I didn't actually care.
Uh-huh.
I just kind of liked the attention that it got me.
Oh.
Yeah.
When I was different. I wasn't
Yeah.
like the other girls.
You've always
21
been so.
Pilots, no. Let me listen to underground stuff like Tame Impala. That was who I was in middle school. I mean,
So underground.
what can I say?
I feel like you've always been someone to go against the grain, not necessarily because you care, but just for the sake of it, just to be someone different.
That was me in middle school, which is primarily how I know you guys. Because I'm the only one here who went to Guilford.
Shame.
I don't know.
For
That's
shame.
what Marshall
For
does to
shame.
a person.
Yeah,
but-
for shame.
Now I think I've since learned that being contrarian and being a hater, even though it is fun on occasion to
Yeah.
be a hater, it's just too much effort. It's too much effort. It's too much energy. And like, why am I putting so much effort into showing people that I dislike something
Right.
when I could be doing all that to show people that I do like something?
Holy
So I've
shit.
tried to transition to that in recent years. And
I
I think it's
agree.
been a positive impact.
Jeff,
I-
that was beautifully said.
Thank you.
I agree with all of that except when it comes to the Jets. I have to publicly hate the Jets.
And it's fine hating. I think a little bit of hating is fun.
Well, it's just it's sports. It's sports.
Yeah.
Well, it's fun to talk shit, right? Even if you're not completely serious about it.
Well,
just like throwing shade at someone.
If something's shit, right, like the New York Jets, and you shit talking, you're in every right.
Like, it's fun to crack jokes, and I think that's completely fair game.
No, but I completely disagree with hating to hate, like, for any reason. Like, I hate very few things. Like, the biggest thing I hate right now is child molesters. Hate them, wish them death. Only people I wish death upon.
Brave of
But to be contrarian.
Wait.
Okay. All right. This is not an excuse for their actions. In fact, I had a conversation about this with.
Are you really going on the train of defending?
No, I just said
I
I'm
thought
not.
that- I thought we were having
Let me say word. Let me say words.
off if
This
you
is not a
defend.
defense of their actions. All right, they are like I said on stream. They are fucked up people who should suffer immensely. But let's acknowledge the fact that they probably lived a fucked up life to reach that point.
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't make it better, but some empathy.
That's you can empathize with their issues, but you cannot empathize with what they did.
That's exactly what I'm saying. We agree.
I hate people who humanize them though. Like
No, don't humanize them.
I don't
But
give
also-
I don't give a shit if they got their leg chopped off. Okay, if you fuck with a child, no,
Word.
you deserve the death penalty. I don't care.
Absolutely. But I think if we're going to solve problems, it's good to better understand them and the source of them. Like back in the Civil War days, if you got an infected cut, the solution was to either cut off your arm or stick leeches on you. But now we have antibiotics
Whoa.
because we decided, oh wait, maybe we don't have to go to these such extremes. Why am I going on this point?
I was a bit of a
don't need to
hater
go on this
recently.
point.
I found something that I say I will hate.
Oh.
And that's airplanes.
Airplanes. Why do you hate airplanes?
Passenger airplanes.
I haven't been on one
And
yet, ever.
the act of riding an airplane. I love airports. Even though their food is terrible. I recently got a sandwich at an airport.
And
It was $11.
overpriced.
It was cold and terrible and overpriced. I love the existing in an airport. It's fun to imagine to go anywhere.
You'll love
Like
the planes once you get to the airport bar.
Maybe. We'll save that for a later date.
Sorry,
Love
you're
airports, love existing in airports. I get onto the airplane. I was on an airplane recently. I visited my brother in Seattle. I feel like common courtesy exists in the world. It's just abandoned on airplanes. It is the most uncomfortable place. You are packed like a sardine in this little tube. Excuse me. That's flying like multiple thousand feet in the air. And I'm sitting in the middle seat. If you're sitting in the middle seat, I feel like you deserve both the armrests. People just don't respect that. People spill into your seat. People snore loudly. People listen to music too loud, and you can hear it when you're trying to watch your movie. That's what I'm a hater for.
Don't even get me started on the in-flight Wi-Fi.
In-flight Wi-Fi, they advertise it. They're like, Delta Airlines has free in-flight Wi-Fi. And you get in there, and it's like, you can watch our one TV show, or you can spend all of this money to have our a little bit better crappy Wi-Fi.
When I was flying to Las Vegas, on my first flight there, I had the window seat, which was really good for getting like B-roll shots of like, oh, the plane's flying, look at the cool ground. Got some really nice shots out of that. I wanted the inside seat, but I refused to get up and go to the bathroom the entire time because the people next to me just looked so like unapproachable, and especially if they were asleep. The lady next to me was sleeping like the entire time. I would have felt so bad to wake her up so that I could go to the bathroom. And like, it's not just, if it was just one person, maybe, but two people, I have to make them get up, get into the aisle, block everyone else so that I can go to the bathroom for 2-3 minutes, come back, and then make them get up again. All while waking them up from a deep slumber.
The deepest slumber you can have on an airplane.
Yeah. I remember on my flight back, I only got an hour of sleep because, well, first of all, I flew out at 12 in the morning. And then it was only a 3-hour flight, so I only slept for like an hour of that. But it was fun to explore Chicago on that afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never been on an airplane.
Never,
We're the people that have to drive everywhere, and I hate it. 15-hour road trips on the fucking road. Went to Arizona.
Was that with like your family, or did you drive on
Family,
your own?
no. If it was up to me, I'd fly. It was a few weeks after my first podcast episode.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, because I told you, I was like, hey, can we get this done before I head out?
Oh, yeah.
And for day one, we drove to Texas, from Rockford to somewhere in Texas, for our first night stop, because we're the type of people who can't fly for whatever reason. And the fucking drive there sucked. We don't have an RV. We have 2 minivans. So I'm sitting in the front seat. I have a pillow and a blanket trying to sleep.
Wait, so you slept in the car? You didn't even get like a cheap motel or anything? Or was this during the drive?
During the drive.
Okay, got it.
So my plan for the first, because we were going to leave at 4 a.m, beat all traffic. So I just didn't sleep.
Yeah.
So I had to try to sleep in the car. It sucked. I got maybe an hour from Illinois to Texas. And being awake in a car for that long sucks.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can entertain yourself with. And you can't really be on your phone that long because you're going to get service cuts going, on the highway for that long.
But that's why it was cool as shit when you were 8 years old and had your Nintendo DSi with fucking Mario Kart and Pokemon and the other Pokemon.
The Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum.
There's got to be a little, were you at least able to have a positive experience of looking out the window and seeing this major part of America that you would normally miss that going over with an airplane?
Well, a bunch of the fields in Illinois, yeah.
Beautiful. I love corn.
For a brief moment, we were driving by St. Louis. I got to see the Arch.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Arch is a natural beauty.
Arch.
Truly the 8th wonder of the world, I do say.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
But other than that, not really. There wasn't anything. I mean, it's just a bunch of fields and...
You didn't see the Grand Canyon in Arizona?
I did.
Okay.
But, I mean, that was...
That was at, the end of the drive.
Yeah,
that wasn't during the drive, I suppose.
So when we got there on the second night, like a 4 or 5 star hotel, really nice hotel. It was a new one. They had an outdoor pool, which sucked. In Arizona, the sun's beating down on you. But we were there for 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Okay.
Well, 14...
All of them in the Grand Canyon?
No. We went to Grand Canyon on the final day before we left. The sights are fucking beautiful at the Grand Canyon.
Oh, hell yeah.
Unfortunately, with my mom's condition, she started to struggle to walk, and then the waiting for food sucked.
Yeah.
So she couldn't even eat anything. So we had to cut that short. It was okay. It was just really shit. And then it started to pour rain when we were on the transit buses.
Really?
So we got back to the main.
You got them
stop.
lo-fi vibes.
We got back to the main hub stop area of the Grand Canyon before we went to before they brought the van in. It was fucking pouring rain. And I had to run in that because I wanted to go to the gift shop.
Yeah.
Did you get anything from the gift shop?
I don't think I did. There was nothing there that I wanted.
Damn.
I'm not one of those people who will get a keychain for shit. My mom is. I don't get a keychain or magnet.
I try not to buy stuff from gift shops, but on my last trip to Vegas, I didn't want to get a shot glass because that's such a typical thing. There's every single gift shop. Shot glass. And all of them are ugly, and you don't want to use any of them. But I picked one up. It was in the vlog where it had dice in the bottom, and you could shake them. And that one got me. That one I had to get.
I'm a bit of a slut for gift shops.
Yeah.
I can't help myself. I was recently in Memphis, and I went to what Memphis is best known for, in my opinion, the Bass Pro Shop Pyramid. 10th largest pyramid in the world, I'm pretty sure. I was working on a movie on that trip, And we weren't there in Memphis for the pyramid, so my crew of 5 people, the director said, you have 10 minutes in there. Meet back here after those 10 minutes. So we book it in there, and I'm looking around like, what can I get? What can I get? I end up getting 2 refrigerator magnets. One's a goose and one's a fish that's also a bottle opener.
Oh, shit.
And then a shirt, I should have worn it today. It says on the back, I really love my wife, in big letters. But if you look closely, it really says, I really love it when my wife lets me go fishing.
Oh.
Which is amazing because, of course, as everyone knows, I love fishing and
If
I
it
have
was
a
a
wife.
good day, I'd be fishing.
So true. I need a 6-month fishing trip twice
Dude,
a
I
year.
haven't been fishing in so long, man. I want to go again. Like I haven't went fishing since I had a training rod, like with a training bait and shit.
When was that? Like
When I was like 7.
Guilford had a bass fishing team. Did either of your guys' schools, any of your guys' schools
Auburn
have a fishing
didn't.
team?
No,
I don't think so.
No, because I don't think they can. No one at Auburn would really fish except for
Are
maybe
ghetto
a few
kids
people.
into fishing? Is that?
They
We
could
couldn't
be.
even get a golf team together, let alone a fishing
Dude,
team.
I don't-
We had like 4 people on our golf team.
Wow.
No, we had a
Jesus.
couple more, I think,
Well,
by the
because our
senior
main
year.
sports were football.
But I didn't
and
go to school
basketball.
senior year, so.
Were you on the golf team, Owen?
No.
Oh.
I was on the swim team.
Yeah, I was
The
thinking.
swim team is a cult. Like if
It
there
is
was
a total cult. It's a crazy cult. I loved it. I loved every second of it.
What was like the wildest thing out of everything that you guys did? Because you guys did a lot of wild shit, like bleaching your hair, or like shaving your hair was a big one too.
Yeah,
right?
so
shave it and then bleach it.
Before sectionals and varsity conference, if you're going to those, you shave all your body hair.
All of it.
All of your body hair, because that's just resistance in the water. So you shave all your body hair. Some people even shave their eyebrows. I was like, what is that going to do for you? Actually, I knew this kid. His name was Dylan. We used to call him Silly Dylan. But he shaved off his eyebrows one year, and just his eyebrows, and he had this big curly hair. I said, hey Dylan, why'd you shave your eyebrows? He said, so I can run faster. Wait. I said, okay. But anyway, we shave all of our hair together in the shower.
So the drain is just full
Oh, dude.
by the end of it.
Oh,
And
there's
hate
some
to do that.
they're pretty good drains. They're pretty good
This
drains.
mass of hair.
Yeah, they're pretty good drains. We
hate
put them
to
to their
do that.
test. But yeah, you got to get some guy with the clippers to help you with your armpits, and so you,
You
can
guys help
shave
each
them.
other too. It's not like
Yeah, you gotta
That's
help.
fraternal
There's some
brotherhood.
spaces.
Yeah,
There's some
that's-
spots you just can't get yourself.
You guys are an actual frat before frats.
But, and then
Brats wish they were the swim team.
a lot of people will shave their head too, and I never did that. But they'll
Yeah.
bleach their hair before they shave it, so it's like a nice funny color or something beforehand.
Gotcha.
And then they'll shave it all off, and it'll just be bald.
Oh, okay, got it.
But I just bleached my hair, and then I never shaved it, so it was just bleached at the end for a while. And that was the time I started growing it out, so it was just bleached at the end for like years.
That's
Yeah.
kind of badass.
Yeah.
It's kind of a look.
How much would it cost for you guys to shave your heads? We all got pretty lengthy hair.
You have
Yeah,
to
I
give
talked to
me
my mom about
There's-
this.
There's no.
I feel
I'm
like-
not. No
No,
price.
just no.
You'd
It's
have
a
to
no.
give me a good grand.
a
grand.
That's
That's
it.
That's it. Really?
That would get-
Grand? I would do it.
the hair
I would
will
do
grow
more
back.
For a grand. I would do a lot for a grand.
Like what, Jeff? Name one thing.
Yeah.
Shake my head.
I would
your-
shave my head
Okay,
for a
okay.
My body hair.
Shave all of it for a grand.
Yeah,
What,
I'd do
what
that.
else would you do for a grand?
I mean, because it's just going to grow back. Now,
Yeah,
if
that's
someone
true.
said you have to shave your hair and never let it grow out ever again and keep it bald, I would never do that.
Yeah.
No, I.
But like, if someone was like, "Hey, I'll give you $1,000 to shave your hair right now," I'd be like, "Yeah."
At the moment, I'm hesitant because I have a mullet,
I.
and I'm
Uh-huh.
actually keeping the mullet around.
It looks good on
Uh-huh.
you.
It's actually, I'm usually not a big fan of guys with mullets,
like
but you
it.
rock it.
He rocks it really good.
I appreciate it. It's been growing out for almost a year now, and it's gonna be gone in about 2 months.
Because
Oh, really? Why?
Why?
Because I'm in a performance group, like a comedy thing at Northwestern, and I'm shaving it for a show.
Ah.
Like I'm cutting it during the show.
So
So I
you need
wouldn't
to
want to
change
shave
the
it.
part so that you have a mullet.
Why?
I don't want to preemptively cut it,
Yeah.
but For $1,000, that might make me change.
But there are some people, some country bumpkin motherfuckers that just cannot, like, they think they look good with the mullet, but no.
No, it takes a certain man to rock a mullet.
It's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a thing, and I'm all about whimsy.
I love it.
Thank
I think you look good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are a very whimsical guy. Maybe that's what I meant more than like someone who just goes against the grain. Maybe more just whimsical in general, which can mean going against, custom traditional styles, but not necessarily always.
It can. I like mantras.
Ooh.
I think it's fun, whimsical even. If somebody has a mantra that they live by, and mine is like I try to do one thing a day, or try to just generally make decisions that add more whimsy into my life, which is probably why I'm such a slut for gift shops, because buying something from a gift shop adds whimsy to your life.
Jeff, what did you do today?
Came here.
Fair. Oh, okay.
This is my whimsical thing for
This
the
is
day.
your whimsical thing. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Do we have any other mantras?
Or any other whimsical actions.
Shoot. I don't know, man. I don't know. Take a day at a time.
Take a day at a time. I wrote a whole page. Guys, I journal because I'm a white girl.
No shame in journaling.
No shame. But no, journaling is actually kind of nice. And the very front page of my journal is my mantra that I do not remember, but but a significant portion of it was stolen from this book called The Four Agreements. And I'm trying to remember what they were. It was take nothing personally, always do your best, and I don't remember the other two.
Those
Sounds
first
like some
two
bullshit.
are
Those first two are really
those are
good.
good ones to live by.
Yeah, exactly. Like I should probably actually read that every morning. I did a good job of reading it every morning for a week, and I'll tell you what, that was a good week.
I'm thinking about that first one, take nothing personally.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good one. I remember I think middle school was the worst of it. I would just get mad at people. Somebody would wrong me in some way, and I would be so upset. I'd be like, how could somebody do this to me? And then I read somewhere, probably on the internet, most people aren't against you. They're just for themselves. And when I started looking at actions like this through that perspective, and the perspective that I don't take these things personally, it's not a personal thing. It's just somebody's working for themselves. It made it a lot easier.
Yeah.
So.
It's also a very stoic principle, this idea that the only thing that you can control is yourself. You have zero control over what circumstances the world puts you in. You have no control over what other people say or do to you. The only thing you have control of is how you respond to them. And the best response in most cases is really just no response, to not take it personally and be able to move on and be the better person in whatever given situation. Daryan, you looked like you wanted to say something.
Oh, I'm just staring at the fire, but same thing like that. Don't take it personal applies to business and for me, sports. Especially like if you're signing a player, or like, let's say you have a superstar player, right? Best in his position, whatever. Putting up stats, putting up numbers. He's part of the reason you win. But you decide to trade him, let's say. Obviously, the player knows this too. It's not personal, but people are gonna be like, "Why would you do that? That's stupid." But not realizing it's a business decision, whether he's too expensive, whether you see a different future of the team and he's not part of it. It's just business.
Yeah, exactly.
And, if fans looked at it that way, Twitter would be a lot better place.
True.
I ruin my day every day going on Twitter.
So why do you?
I just hate myself, I guess. I don't know. He's going pee.
He's going
Oh no, I gotta break in.
Yeah, he's got it. Like it is kind of like that sadistic urge to, because I actually recently got on Twitter. I didn't plan on it, but I felt like it would be really good, because Twitter one thing it's really good about is just feeding you new content constantly. Like, you can refresh the page, and it's just like a ton of new shit.
And it's mostly toxic.
Mostly toxic, but
it's
every
really
But it's
now and
really
then-
good for influencers and creators to get out their words and
Yeah,
stuff too.
like every now and then there will be like this one really beautiful thing. Like, oh, I have like actual sticks if you want to use that, or I mean that works plenty fine too.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, true.
Two at a time.
Yeah.
Like I feel
Two at a
like
time.
Twitter's like the Facebook of the new generation. Like just more blogging stuff, you know?
Yeah. I was about to say I did find one page the other day that I really liked. That was called what's it called? Animals in. Let me just look it up real quick. I don't want to butcher the name because there's like a subreddit that's similar to it. After seeing it on Twitter, I'm like, this has to be a subreddit too. And there was a subreddit for something. Oh no, this wasn't it. I do also follow one called Animals Going Goblin Mode. Which one?
Unusual videos.
Unusual video. Okay, yeah, that's a pretty good one. Where is it? Is it animal? No,
Pizza's gonna be done in a little bit.
the meat pizza. All right, sounds good.
You grill master Ellen.
It's called Animals in Wrong Places, and it's just pictures. It's literally what it says it is. It's just pictures of animals where they shouldn't be. Like when I went on, it was just a bear sitting on a bench in the middle of public. There was this
Hey, who
one.
says he can't be there?
Yeah, exactly. Or the
That's
other
his right.
one that stuck with me was just this dog in the air, like really high up. Like there was nothing else in the picture but the dog and the sky.
Darren, would you like a marshmallow?
I would love a marshmallow.
Go ahead and
Thank
take
you.
one.
Thank you.
Oh,
Of course.
Daryan, I wanted to ask you this a moment ago. Do you think of everything in terms of sports?
Because
it's like-
I can relate plenty of things to sports.
Yeah.
It's I find it easy to relate. So like, I'll have someone explain something to me in sports terms if I need them to.
Uh-huh.
Because I mean, that's just what my life's gonna be.
But
So
Yeah.
It's a good relatable, like, you know, sort of explanation kind of thing, you know, because understanding things is all about connections.
Mhm.
And if you can connect it to sports, which is something you're passionate about, you can understand anything, right?
Yeah. Well, because what I was going to say is, like, ever since, like, going on, like, the YouTube grind, it's all of my thinking has gone towards, relating things to either YouTube videos or podcasts.
Right.
After starting the podcast, I basically translated every just regular conversation I have into treating it almost like it's a podcast. Like, how do I keep this conversation going? Like, what tactics would I use in the podcast to keep the conversation going, and how do I apply them here in this completely regular situation where I know that no one else is listening to, but
right.
like the same tactic, or like if I see something in real life, or like it's always like, oh, this would look really good as this shot, or you know, how could I get the angle with a camera on this? And I don't know, I just feel like having that mindset while pursuing a career is a very not important thing. I mean, important, but
It's very beneficial.
beneficial.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that was like interesting to see that in you.
Well, thank you, I guess. But that's why when I see people in like college and stuff that like are undecided, they're just taking gen ed classes, you know, it confuses me on why. Obviously they don't have to have it figured out, but like the fact of not having an idea, like how can, like, I just don't know how they think. Like, I can't wrap around, because like psychology majors, well, that's all they do is they think, I guess. They study how people think. People in like theater and stuff, like I imagine they can relate stuff to something like via theater terms, right?
Well, not everybody identifies and relates things in the context that we're talking about it in academically applicable ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's probably true for a lot of undecided people, is they may relate all their circumstances with connecting to people, or like a hobby or passion of theirs that's not something that you can find in a major or an academic environment. So
It is kind of odd to me how if you ask someone, oh, who are you? What do you do? It's almost always their career. It's almost always their job. Oh, I'm a videographer. I'm a photographer. I do, I am an author. It's whatever their job is. But, everyone has a life outside of their work. Some people need to take at least 2 trips every 6 months to go fishing. Some people.
Well, or
Some
Nice
six
callback.
a 6-month trip every 2 months.
6 month trip every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? My bad.
Or just over the course of a year, 2 6-month trips.
2 6 months
Just
trips.
2 different lakes.
2 different weeks. My bad. But it is odd to completely connect your it's just your entire life, and I feel like that's something I've been a little more drawn to. I still want to make YouTube videos my career,
Right.
but I realize that there's a value to stepping back and actually enjoying the other things around it.
Now, Daniel, if I ask, who are you? What would your response be?
Dude, I don't fucking know.
So, for me, that's honestly going to be the most difficult thing, because my career is in football. I'm a football fan. I'm a fan of sports. So, I'm starting to get to that point where I can't watch football games as a fan anymore. I was at a birthday party and they had a college game playing. And I was just watching. I'm like, well, that guy's stupid. Why the hell did he do that and not fucking this? Criticizing his technique, not that guy sucks, kick him off the team, like boomer dads do. But
you have to analyze every little thing.
at this point, yeah, because I'm doing that myself for play. Well, it's not paid for, but whatever. So I'm assistant linebacker. I'm a student coach, assistant linebackers, because I was a linebacker, so it's logic, I guess. And we just did our spring ball, which was just practices, and I'm on the field watching what our guys are doing, seeing how I could tell them how to get better and shit. And then going and watching a regular football game, it's like, dude, this guy can do this instead. It's like, I can't watch it as a fan.
Yeah. Do you feel like that adds to the experience or takes away from it?
Depends
The
on how
insider
I want to
knowledge.
do it. As a fan, it takes away. But as someone who wants to pursue this as a career, I guess it could add to it, because I'm also watching other players, other teams, so I can see different individuals at their position.
Well, Jeff, going to you, because you're majoring in film, and I don't know, what would you say your specific major is? Just
Its title is radio, TV, film.
radio, TV, film.
And I have a
Okay.
minor in sound design.
Yeah.
But I'm just, going into sophomore year, so it's really just the bare bones.
Yeah. Would you say that you're very decided in that? There's not really any leeway in what you want to pursue, or is it
So, for my time at university, time at college, definitely. It's what I want to continue doing. It's what I want to get my degree in. It's really something I enjoy. I actually got into the major on accident. I applied to Northwestern not thinking I'd get in. And unlike every other school I applied to, Northwestern said, you cannot be communication school undecided. You have to pick a major. And I'm like, TV film sounds cool. Whatever, click that. And then I got in and I had to go early decision, which amazing decision. I loved the school.
Yeah.
So I got there a little bit nervous, but have since really come to enjoy the film and classes and clubs that it comes with. So
Well, that's good that you're enjoying it. I feel bad that for people that are forced into a major and then they just don't like it, but I guess their parents decided for them and they won't let them change it because they'll get disowned or something stupid like that.
That's what's fucked up about Asian culture is because a lot of Asian culture, especially the generations before this, a lot of them were just struggling to get by. When I was visiting my grandparents, my grandma was talking about my grandma and my mom were talking about how, oh yeah, when we were growing up, we had 2 fried eggs and a plate of rice to feed 5 people. And we came to America, and now we have all this abundance, and you can go to college. And Daniel, why are you doing YouTube and not going to college?
Oh no, go ahead.
But yeah, that's something very prevalent in Asian cultures. They want, and it's not something you can take personally, because it's it's not them working against you. They don't want malice against you. They just want you to have success that they didn't have back when they were growing up. Like, a lot of them will be like, oh, Daniel, go be doctor, go be nurse, make lots of money. Like, the whole thing is just, they just want you to make a lot of money so that you can support them when they retire. No, but Jeff, what were you gonna say?
Oh,
Or
well,
Owen, you guys want to fight over who says
No,
what?
I was gonna say that we got some meat pizza ready.
Meat some pizza!
Hell yeah.
So hell yeah.
Some meats pizza ready.
Thanks,
if anyone
Chef
wants
Owen.
any.
Thank you, Chef Owen. And then the lots of matzah is cooking
It's
right now.
cooking at the moment.
Hell
Can
yeah.
it cook and you take a seat?
Yeah, that's
Would
what
you
I was
join
thinking
us?
of. That's what I was thinking of
We'd
doing,
love
because
to
it's
have you in
gonna
the
sit over there
semicircle.
for a while. Just come over and check on it.
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
once in
Come
a
over
while.
here. Would you mind
I
bringing
need
some
someone
plates?
on my
Yep,
right side.
I'll bring you guys. You guys want any meat pizza?
I'll take
I would
a
love it.
I'll
Yeah,
take a
Anybody want
slice.
some?
Yeah.
Bring
It's
one
very generous
pieces.
of
One
you guys.
pieces.
One Piece is
Just
do
one
one
piece over
piece.
here,
One
since
piece
we
for
also got the other
got
one
Mott's
coming.
coming.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Owen.
Speaking of One Pieces, I caught up to One Piece recently.
No way.
Oh,
I
we're
didn't
at a part
watch it.
can't
I
talk.
read it.
Oh, you read it?
I read it. I bought a Shonen Jump subscription, $2 a month, and I read the whole thing.
Holy shit.
And I gotta say, I think I enjoy it a lot. I like it because it's well made, but also just I put so much commitment and effort into finishing something that to get to the end, it's not ended yet, but to catch up to where it's at is something I'm more proud of than a lot of my real accomplishments.
Mike told me this a couple days ago. I don't know how true this is, but he said that the creator said that once he finishes up the story of One Piece, he'll finally have the backstory done and move into the actual story. Was that something he actually
It's
said?
something that he said because this story, thank you, has been going on for over 20 years
Thank
now.
you so much, Owen.
And he recently just finished an arc, as they do in stories.
Uh-huh.
Big climactic thing. It was 20 years in the making. And the guy tweeted out, yeah, now we're starting for real, which a lot of people found as an insult. I thought it was funny. But
Yeah, he has to be just like joking around, but also like, yeah, I'm gonna make more.
Yeah, I've never gotten into anime or manga or any of that type of stuff.
Have you at least attempted to get into
No.
it? No, not even.
No, I don't find interest in it.
I feel like a lot of shows, I can't get into normal shows anymore. That's why I do enjoy anime so much, is because it's so wild and buku bonkers. Like, nothing, and they take themselves seriously, but they know they're not serious, if that makes any sense. They're just they take their absurdity to such a level that, like, that's the kind of art, that's the kind of stuff that I lean into. Just anything that's so just completely surreal. I don't like my art grounded in reality, or as little as possible.
I agree in that point. Well, it's difficult to encapsulate American media and Japanese media as, singular things. Just the field of animation is so much easier to convey these absurd and crazy and surreal ideas than live action. And, Japanese culture has more effort devoted to animation than American culture does. So you can easier find stuff like that in their selection.
That's why we got Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Probably my favorite show is Adventure Time, but Courage the Cowardly Dog, even though I'm not personally a big fan of it, like I grew up watching it a little bit, but I haven't seen like every single episode. I'm a casual fan of it, but it's like I can still recognize it as quite probably one of the greatest animated shows of all time.
Oh yeah. How's the pizza, guys?
It's actually quite
great.
incredible.
The top could have been done a lot more.
Oh, and I
It's
think
a
you
little
did a great job.
It's a little gooey on the top. I would have liked a little bit more crunchy on the
I
top.
like it that way a little bit.
Yeah, I like it that way too. But I hope it's okay for you guys.
I tasted the love.
Okay, that's good.
I thought it was fantastic.
Thank you.
Jeff, you were talking about going into Bass Pro Shops while you were making a movie. Do you want to talk about that movie making process a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So, just this summer, I was on a 2-week road trip making a documentary film.
Mm-hmm.
It was only 5 people. It was really a skeleton crew.
Okay.
And it was called American Dendrite. It's in post-production now, but if anybody wants to follow along with our production journey, it has an Instagram.
Okay.
And what we did was started in Chicago up by Lake Michigan and followed the path of water from Lake Michigan down to the Mississippi, down to the Gulf of Mexico, where it spits out, at the Delta. And we would stop in big cities like Chicago, St. Louis, and Memphis, and even really small cities like Cairo, Illinois, or, some other ones. Can't remember. They're small. And interview people. And the only thing that would prod their interviews was they had to listen to a little clip of what the last person said. So it's really just like these themes of flowing water. And we shot it all on Super 8 old film, which
That's
I think was
awesome.
fun.
Yeah, that's
And
really cool.
I don't know how amazing the final product is going to be. I have faith in the people who are editing it together.
Yeah.
But for me, it was such a cool experience to really be a part of a real film set
Yeah.
that was traveling to all these places that I'd never been. I'd never been to Arkansas or Louisiana or Mississippi, and go to these small towns and just kind of see what life is like for
Yeah.
people down there. I had a great time.
That seems awesome. That dude. I would love to do something like that. So what were some of the answers from your interviews that you got? Were there any interesting ones?
Let me think. Well, we were at Pride in Chicago.
Yeah.
That was the first day, or maybe, no, it was the first day of filming was Chicago Pride.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a lot of interviews where people were very emotionally empowered,
Oh yeah.
which I think was great.
That sounds good.
We had some older people. I remember this older gentleman who had been living in Chicago multiple decades.
Mm-hmm.
And he was gay, and he talked about how cool it was for him to grow up when it was not socially acceptable, when he could not be out and
Mhm.
open about who he was. And then now to be still in Chicago in the same place that he grew up, and they have this big parade, and all
Yeah.
of these people who are out and expressing themselves. And I really like that one. I connected
That
with that
is
one a lot.
really cool. That's really amazing.
I would
actually.
encourage anybody to go to a pride parade
Oh, yeah.
or something like that if you get any chance in your life.
I was meaning to go to the one in Rockford this year, and then it just poured down rain. So I watched the actual parade from my car. They had a little parade of cars going out with all the pride flags and honked and all that. But it was a sign from
God that he hates
no. But it was like a mud pit at the actual event. So, and I had my little sisters with me, and I was like, "Yeah, let's go celebrate Pride somewhere else."
It is kind of this beautiful thing. I feel like it's very common for people to, hate on the world, like, the world sucks, like, all of these horrible things are happening, like, the Supreme Court just completely banished Roe v. Wade to the shadow realm, which, things like that do suck. Like, it's a huge setback. Like, we do see moments in time where, like, we do revert a little bit like that, but
Sometimes.
yeah, but
History
it's-
repeats itself.
yeah, but in general, like, over the course of history, it's all heading towards in a positive direction.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even though we have more people on Earth than ever before, we have less violence, we have
Yep.
less wars, very fucked up wars that are happening right now, but there are less. I mean, if you went back 500 years ago, it was basically all war. Everyone was fighting against each other to expand their borders, or just because they didn't like your people. So it is nice to see, like, even over the course of 20, 30 years, however long that guy was living in Chicago, like, how he could see the improvement over time. within his lifetime.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And now, some silent fire ASMR.
Should we kick around these logs a little
So I
bit?
was at
We
the
should a little
dentist
bit.
the other day.
No way.
Holy shit!
And nothing funny happened, so I said, "Don't say that on the podcast." I already fucked it up. That's actually a Bo Burnham joke. Don't give me any credit for that. I'm a joke
Where did you
stealer.
steal that
I said
from?
Bo Burnham.
Bo Burnham.
Yeah.
Well, comedy's just
It's just
taking bits and pieces of other
yeah,
people.
exactly.
Nothing is original ever.
Yeah, never.
Never.
I've been trying to watch comedy specials pretty regularly, like at
Yeah.
least once a week, because I feel like Dave Chappelle talks about this, where if you're sitting and watching a comedian do their bits, do their work, that's almost, I think they call it taking notes.
Yep.
And like I feel like just watching comedy in general helps me be a funnier person, either on the podcast or while I'm recording a video.
I'm sure it
Like,
does.
I haven't seen a special in a little bit, and I already feel out of it. Like, I'm not hitting jokes as hard as I would like to.
Well, no, because you can take. It's not even the jokes; it's the mannerisms and the way it comes out.
Yeah,
'Cause You can. There's some comedians you can say something in their tone of voice, and anything will be funny.
Yeah.
You know.
What's his name? Mitch
Hedberg.
Hedberg. Oh my! His delivery.
Great one.
Like, he says the dumbest stuff,
Mhm.
but his delivery is so impeccable.
Of course.
What's one of his jokes? I used to be in drugs. I still am. I just used to also.
Yes. Yes. See, that's the type of
Says
shit
the
I like.
silliest
Dude,
stuff. I tried to go to Target, but I missed. I think my favorite joke of all time comes from him, and it's just, escalators cannot break down. They can only become stairs.
But didn't you have a picture of an escalator that was like closed down?
that was the joke.
Yeah.
I did see an escalator that didn't have any stairs in it.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like the belt and nothing else. It was completely caved in.
I love
So that one was not just stairs.
No.
But still my favorite joke.
Oh
That's another reason to come to Chicago. Not escalators, but comedy. The comedy
I
scene in
thought you were
Chicago
gonna
is
say
pretty.
stairs.
Oh yeah.
Stairs too.
I've been
Chicago has
talking-
crazy stairs, but Chicago comedy is one. It's one of the. It is the comedy capital of the U.S. I think I could say.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we're all so funny.
Yeah. Our proximity.
Yeah. Yeah. You just.
it rubs
We
off on
steal
We're
the
not
aura.
that funny. Just a little bit because
Yeah.
we're a little close.
It rubs off on us.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just radiates an hour to Rockford. I discovered this lady. Her name's Michelle Wolf. And she's not my favorite comic. I would say my favorite comic is probably Dave Chappelle.
Oh,
But
yeah.
as far as actual skill, she might be the best. She has this very shrill voice. Like, she constantly talks like this! And she just doesn't take herself seriously. She doesn't take anything seriously. And she's so energetic, and her delivery is impeccable, and she'll go to anywhere with her joke, but she's also a big feminist, and like manages to convey like important feminist messages through her comedy. And I think that's like comics that can do that, who can make you laugh really hard but also convey a very important message through a special or through their comedy. Like, those are some of the most like beautiful things, those beautiful works of art that I acknowledge.
That's why I love George Carlin so much. He was awesome. Definitely one of my favorite all-time comedian. Just because he would just say the most fucked up shit in the world, but he'd have some kind of message behind it. Right? It's some kind of message about it. How about our politics or the way we do life, and it was always the funniest shit at the time. So that was always great.
I like Louis C.K. doesn't do it so much, but I like him because he'll always say the darkest stuff, like, before it was like as relevant as it was today. He in one of his specials he talks about abortion. He's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're killing kids, and I think you should be able to kill kids." And then like it's how all of his comedy works, where he'll say something really dark like that, but then find like an actual like kind of reasonable way to defend it.
Yeah.
I won't do the whole bit, but yeah, just he does a lot of stuff like that. He was also talking about, we were complaining about airplanes earlier, but in another one of his specials, he has this beautiful message about how, like, he talks specifically about airplanes, how we're in this flying mechanism. You know, 100 years ago, people would travel across the ocean in a boat, or they would travel across America by wagon, and by the end of it, half the people would be dead. And today we can just get in this giant flying metal contraption, be on the other side of the planet in a matter of hours, and we have the nerve to complain about a 40-minute delay.
I thought about something recently. I think I've read this on the internet too. When I was flying from Seattle and then back to from Seattle, there was a fly on my plane, circling around.
Oh.
Which was not a big deal in the moment. But when that fly gets off the plane, what are they thinking? Their family is gone.
Shit.
Their
Everyone's
home is gone.
Yeah.
They say I walked into this little metal contraption and boom, I'm in a completely different
Totally different climate. Like,
you know,
you get there.
It's just like for stuff that's approachable and makes sense to people. How do animals perceive it? My dog's never seen the ocean.
No.
If I take my dog to the ocean, what's it gonna think?
No.
Can it even comprehend that the ocean is that massive?
No, I don't think so.
Holy
I think I'd think of it as a pool, you know? Just, you know, water.
Also, my dog's never seen a monkey before. If I show my dog a monkey, how's it gonna perceive it? I'll never know because it's gonna react to it the same way it reacts to everything. It's gonna bark at it.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
Will it treat it
In its mind.
Will
What's
it
it
treat it like another person? Like, oh, this is just a really hairy, tiny person.
Yeah.
Or if it's a gorilla, it's a really hairy, big person. Walks up to it, instantly gets smashed to bits.
Yeah. I've got a really important question.
What's up?
You think that fly went to the Space Needle? You think
I
he had,
hope so.
You think he had a good time? Do you
I
think
think
did he follow the fish around SeaTac?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a real Seattle fly.
Yeah.
It knew everything.
It knew it.
Knows all the tourist stops. Knows all the hole-in-the-wall locations. And then it gets out in Chicago. Do you think it's going to visit the Bean?
Oh, of
It
course
has
it's going to
to.
the Bean.
Of course.
It's going to the Bean.
Where the fuck is the needle? That's where I oriented everything. I can always see it.
I see it. Oh.
Now I see this bean and can only see myself.
Wait, we're in the big black building place, not the pointy building place.
Would it try to get home? Would it get
Goes
on into
all the-
another airplane? Would it like
Have to
sniff
read it?
around and be like, I think the needle's
Seattle?
this way? And just
Could
start
it get
going?
home? Like
I
if
don't
it
think
flew
so.
for its entire life, how long does a fly live? Not that long, right?
that
like
long.
Cannot be that
Like
long.
2 weeks, probably.
that's like fruit flies, right?
Yeah,
That's
I don't
definitely
know.
not gonna make it. Fruit flies were the first animal to make it to space. How do you think they felt?
Wait, what the fuck?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've never seen Fly Me to the Moon?
What are you
Wait,
talking
where
about?
we
We're
sat
not
up-
that funny. Oh, that was the funniest thing I've heard in a while.
Oh, and you got a solid chuckle out of me. I think we're
That's a
hilarious.
customer knee
was that-
slapper right there.
Wait, was that
You deserve-
set up the whole time?
No.
We were planning that joke this whole time.
So
We led the conversation.
We're not fruit flies, the first animal to make it to space.
No, I think that's a real fact. I think they were actually
Okay.
were. Like we sent. What was the animal that we say was the first? Was it the monkey or the dog that we said?
one of them.
Well,
Yeah, it's
neither of
probably
those are
one of
true.
them.
It's actually fruit flies.
Well, what I'm thinking is, if I'm a scientist working to put a man like on the moon or in space, and I send a fruit fly up there and it comes back dead, How do I know if it was the space or just the fact that it's a fruit fly and will
You don't. That's why we don't use fruit flies.
I don't think they.
That's why we use like a monkey or like a dog.
Yeah, I don't think they purposely sent fruit flies on there. I think it was just they just happened to be on there. That's why the fact is true.
Oh,
Did you not? Did that not
I thought it was
translate?
I thought it was like that they were being experimented.
No, I
They just
Like, well,
accidentally
let's-
ended
Like they
up
had
on.
like fruit and they brought fruit flies.
Or
over,
like
man.
they just sent something up into space and the bug happened to fly in. I don't know what
Yeah.
happened, but like there were flies.
Okay, I thought they purposely put
Oh
them
yeah, that's
on
a
there with the
great use
intention of
money.
seeing how organisms react.
That's why we put the dog in space, and I don't think the dog came back.
I don't think any of them came back, except some of the people. Some.
Some of them.
I mean, one batch of people didn't even make it.
Nope.
Weird.
Shout out.
Shout out
Shout out to the
all the
challenge.
homies that died in
Shout out to the
space.
Shout out.
If I'm gonna die, not
Yeah.
a bad way to go.
No.
Bad way to
Yeah.
go anyway, but like.
But
Dude.
those people are forever immortalized in history. In the pit, you learn about them in school no matter what.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like, especially since one of them was a teacher too. So you're always gonna, you're
But
always
yes,
gonna
but
hear
true.
about it. You're always gonna hear
Hey,
about
can you hold
it.
my mic for a second?
Yeah. We got
He's
two
got
mics.
two mics. He's been given too much power.
All right, so I've taken over.
It's gonna sound exactly the same. It's just gonna be like your levels are gonna be boosted
I
because
feel like
Yeah,
someone
man.
did that last time.
yeah.
I thought maybe I'd get like something special.
Yeah, you might be like there might be a little bit of
Thank you.
like the
I appreciate
tiniest bit of
You're
delay, but it's not gonna be anything that's. It's not gonna be like you're in space. I'm Daryan. I'm Daryan. I'm Daryan. I'm Daryan.
That's what people sound like in space.
I don't think that's.
The fruit flies were like, "What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on? No. Or like maybe a better analogy would be the Grand Canyon.
Well, I've never yelled at the Grand Canyon, so I don't know if it echoes like that.
You were there and you didn't yell.
Well, no, I'm not. I don't use my vocals that much like that.
Fair enough.
I think you meant to say like a tunnel.
No, I didn't.
Because you were echoing.
No, I
Yeah.
didn't mean that. I
You-
meant space.
I think you did. There's no sound in space.
I meant space. I'm just an idiot.
There's no sound.
No. Like
if you
it doesn't. It can't travel.
But yeah, but like if you talk, you'd be able to hear
Whoa.
yourself.
Well, no shit. Like, if you got the helmet on, yeah.
But what if you take the helmet off?
You'd fucking die.
But you wouldn't be able to hear your death scream.
Not me.
I don't. Well, yeah,
You
you're
think-
built different.
Do you think everyone in the world would hear your death scream?
I don't think it'd be.
You take your helmet off and you go.
I don't know if
I don't
you
think
make a
You think that
noise.
travels to all the planets
No.
through space.
Well, hey, now that we're on the topic of space, aliens.
Oh, yeah, they're
Definitely
real.
Oh,
They're
for
real.
sure. I don't know
It's
if
just
we've
proven at this point.
Nah.
not necessarily.
I got this stupid theory that me and the person I'm dating came up with. That humans aren't even from fucking Earth. We were just a retarded species of aliens, and they kicked us off.
I talked about that last time with the prisoner theory.
Oh yeah,
with the moon.
The moon's not even here right
Dude,
now.
That's because they're not
I
watching
talked
us
about
at the
that
moment.
with her too, bro. Like, where the fuck's the moon gone?
Wait, where's it going?
No, why can't I? Where's it at?
Bro,
It's up there.
there.
No,
Gru
bro.
stole it. Bro.
I took an astronomy class at college.
I don't know where it is, but the moon.
I was gonna
It
take
was over there
astronomy.
last
Picked
time.
mine.
Now it's not there.
I was gonna
so
take
it must be
astronomy,
gone,
I never
right?
did.
The moon's just gone. I
We're
guess.
having two separate conversations now. This is great.
Viewers are gonna love this one.
Oh yeah. Okay. So what led you to believe this theory? What's the reasoning behind it?
I think we're just bullshitting, and then we just start spitting this out. It was like you were saying something stupid, and because you look at like how we like evolved from like a form of gorilla, monkey, that type of shit. How like they're very similar to us, but like where the fuck's our hair like? Like where is that shit at? Like we're more hairless than them. Like we don't look nothing alike. Type shit.
Well,
So-
because we
So it's
discovered
like aliens
fire.
just said,
and
hey,
We
these
don't
guys
look too different.
yeah.
Not. I mean.
Yeah,
Not
I'd
that
say.
the
different.
fact that we're less hairy, I don't think proves we're aliens.
But another point I brought up last time was that so like old people, right? They have all these like hip and back problems, and it's because we're not meant to be on Earth and experience the gravity,
Yeah, see?
right? Right?
True. But what is my dog had back problems.
Your dog's not meant to be here either.
Holy
You're right.
shit! Your dog's
My
an
dog
alien
has
too.
hip
Why do you think it has
problems.
those human eyes? that
Oh
stare into
my
your soul?
God.
Holy shit.
What kind of dog is it?
A golden doodle.
Golden Doodle. Yeah, my coworkers talked about this too. We saw it wasn't
Bro,
your dog,
everything's
but
fucking
another one of
connecting.
them was at the drive-through window. We love dogs coming through the drive-through. So
gonna
if
bring
you're ever
my
going
pug.
through a drive-through, bring your dog, please.
I got two.
You will the workers there. You will make their miserable lives better if you
Will you
bring your
feed them?
dog. But anyway, we saw one come through, and it also had the same human eyes, and we were all talking about it. Like, why do dogs like that have eyes that look like people eyes that just stare at you like it's a person? Your dog's an alien.
No
Yeah.
comment.
It's gonna start losing its hair soon. It's gonna be this hairless thing, and it's gonna start to have human intelligence.
Good. Maybe it could understand me when I say stop biting.
Stop gnawing on my hands.
Stop. I just want to love you.
Reached bone.
We
Stop.
Okay, when me and Mike visited to like take care of your dog, we thought it was a little bit morbid that it had toys that looked like it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Was that?
Well, some of them were my old dog's toys.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, kind of funny.
It's kind
I
of
mean,
funny.
we give kids dolls.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's
True.
We
true.
give a dog toy, like a dog shaped toy.
Yeah.
That's a very fair point, Jeff.
Thank you.
Does it have like movable arms so it can like put it in positions like a dog would be?
It does not.
Oh,
But maybe if my dog gets really smart and gets like opposable
opposable thumbs. Yeah,
I'll give it a more,
complex toy.
a more a toy with more appendages.
You gotta give him the little ball that you put you put all the shapes in, like, you know.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
little
yeah.
circle goes in the circle hole, and the triangle goes in the triangle hole,
I'm
and the
convinced
square goes in the square hole.
if dolphins had thumbs, like they would probably be the human race. But the fact that they don't have a means to manipulate the world around them in a very tangible way,
Mhm.
like we have hands, so we can put things together. We can build a house. Dolphins can't do that. But everything else about them, like they're hella smart. They'll like if you see the way they hunt, they'll go to shallow water and swim in rings around the school of fish that they're trying to catch, and by swimming around in that ring, they create this dust wall, and the fish will think, "Oh, I'm not going to be able to pass through that. Let's jump over it." And once they jump over it, the dolphin jumps up, snags that fish, and they kind of funnel the fish in this way. Hella smart way to hunt. And they specifically huff on puffer fish to get high. So they know those things. Like, how smart do we think dolphins are?
I don't know, but I've got a really good hypothetical for you, right? Let's say, you're at the beach. You're at the beach, and you're in the water, and you see a dolphin fin, right? And it comes up to you, and you see this dolphin has opposable thumbs, right? And this dolphin can talk as well. And it says, "Hello, Daniel Strohman, I need a 9mm stat. Would you give it to him?"
Dude, I would kill that dolphin. We have to protect the human race. We can't let another one take over. We can't let another race take over. And
Kill the
suddenly,
dolphin.
I sound like our founding fathers.
Yikes.
Yes, exactly.
We're canceling
welcome for that
Daniel now.
joke. Cancel me now, I dare you.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, we should probably kill that dolphin so that
Yeah, I think so.
Or at least take it for like testing.
See, we
Right?
take dolphins for testing, and
Nah,
the way
this
that
one,
ended,
this one's gotta be locked in the,
way
lab.
that
It does.
the way the last one ended is a lady jerked off a dolphin to
Yeah.
to please it.
Lucky
I thought
ass
that was just
dolphin.
at like a. No, it was the one that was really smart, right? It was.
Yeah,
really,
they were-
they gained like a connection to each
Yeah,
other.
they were trying to communicate with it, right?
Yeah.
And at some point, it was really horny, so they figured, the best way to like make sure to like if we're gonna try to establish communication with it, we better keep it pleased.
Yeah.
Establish a bond between the
Exactly.
I think we could have gotten it.
Yeah,
I
if
think
the
if they just
ethics
did it a
community
little
didn't get
longer.
involved, we would be talking to dolphins by now.
We would.
Damn.
But now, what would they have to say?
That's how dolphins sound. Which one's more accurate? What do dolphins say? That was actually really good.
that's good.
I wish you were by a microphone. No! Guys, you just missed a very
He's gonna do
incredible
it.
dolphin impression.
He's gonna do it.
Do it again, please. I don't know if
I'm
he...
not gonna do it as good.
No.
This time. All right, ready?
That was still
That's
pretty
still
good.
good, yeah.
That was still pretty good. Or like octopi. There's genuine theories. There's genuine hypotheses that these things are alien and came from space. Because what other animal is there that's just like this wriggly thing that can fit into any tiny space, has what, like 8 hearts or 8 limbs, 3 hearts, and can change color, can
change
spurt out
color.
ink, and are probably really smart. See, they're the scary ones because they do have an appendage that can manipulate the world around them. Who's that theoretical physicist guy? Like Mikaku, the one who's always on Ancient Aliens. The like Asian. I don't know if he's Asian, but he has like the white hair that's like kind of mid-length.
I don't know.
I
you know
hate to break it to you. I don't really watch
I don't.
Ancient
You don't watch
Aliens
Ancient
We
Aliens.
don't watch.
too often.
I watch
I'm not a
it to make
regular.
fun of
I'm
it
not
a
on
lot.
regular either, but it's not just Ancient Aliens. He talks on a lot of different things too. But he was
Okay.
talking about how, I'm trying to think what the 3 things are if you wanted to create another human race or another animal that's as effective as the human race, then there's just 3 things you need. Sapience, or like superior intelligence, cohesive means of communication between others of that species, and an appendage to manipulate the world around them. And if octopi could speak to each other in a coherent fashion, they might be people of the water.
That'd be pretty cool though.
We don't even know what's in the bottom of that water.
Yeah, how crazy
There's
is that?
so much shit. Do you ever hear about the blip?
The blip.
I have.
You've heard about the blip?
Please
heard about
indulge
the
me.
blip.
What's the
So
blip?
basically, they set up all. I don't know the necessary backstory. Jeff might be better at explaining it. But so basically, they set up all these like sound frequency receivers, like in the ocean, and I don't remember what for, but it wasn't. It was for a certain purpose. They set up all these sound frequency. I don't know.
Not incredibly important. It's just they were like doing science.
Yeah, pretty much. They
Studying
were
the
doing
ocean,
scientists
receiving
do.
sounds.
So receiving sounds, yes. And so one day there was a blip, so that was heard throughout almost the entire ocean. Like I believe it might have been the Atlantic Ocean from.
It was something crazy. It was they picked
it
up
was
on
in
this
the Atlantic or
frequency that was
Pacific.
so incredibly loud.
It was so loud it was
that it
heard
registered.
like from coast to coast.
and
It was
and
a
just
roar.
came up. It just came up as a blip on the monitor.
Yeah.
And you think, well, it's not a big deal on the monitor. But then if you think about it, what could have made this noise that
was that loud.
tremendous?
It was.
It was
like,
no animal. It was
had-
no whale. It was not an earthquake.
It had to have, and like people did the math, and to make that much noise, it had to have been like something that was bigger than anything we've ever imagined, like bigger than blue whales, any like megalodon stuff.
Bigger
like
than
that.
Megalodon?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Something. And I believe when was this? Like early 2000s, like 90s? I don't know.
and we're never really going to find out. Because the ocean's huge.
There's a couple videos I'd say you can watch on YouTube just about ocean mysteries and stuff like that. That it's just like I never want to go in that place ever because there's just so much shit that we don't know about it. We know more about space than our oceans. People say that a lot, but it's totally true.
For sure, for sure. What if it was just someone farted really loud in the water?
Big
I
ass
would want to meet
motherfucker.
that person.
They must have eaten like a whale.
Yeah.
And then
It was just your mom.
Oh.
Got him.
Yeah, because she just ate your dad.
Too many zingers on this podcast. You get your own special after this one.
Yeah. Just have to do 5 minutes of stand up right now on this podcast.
Oh hell no.
I think I if I was to do stand up, I would do the comedy that you find in crappy, like old guy stand up in comic strips. I do.
Yeah.
God, I hate my wife. Me when my wife. Oh my gosh. Me when my wife goes to the store. Ew. Me when my wife does not let me drink beer.
Yeah. So me and my wife went to the store the other day. Audible groan.
God, the wife, the ball and chain, am I right? Yeah.
What can I say? I'll be here all night, folks. Thank you. Thank you.
All my guys in the audience, we also hate our wives. Get
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys know what you're talking about. Yeah.
The woman I marry.
Go get my wheelchair. Sound just like Joe.
Peter, I'm going to have to go get my wheelchair. Peter, I haven't had sex with my wife in 4 years.
Let me put on my hand shoes so I can take out the trash. That was a real one that I just saw where where Bonnie was like, Joe, can you take out the trash? Here, put on your hand shoes. And then he starts walking on his hands and she throws the trash on his limp legs.
Bro, Family Guy, I really liked Family Guy, like, when it was, I don't know, probably, like, through, like, maybe the 15th season, maybe, even. That's even pushing it a little bit. But, like, even now, ever since Seth MacFarlane left, it's been bad, I think.
He left?
Oh, he hasn't worked on that show for years.
What?
Yeah.
Isn't he like the
All
guy
of them?
though?
He's like all of them.
He does the voices, but he's nothing in the back.
Oh,
he doesn't
so he
direct
doesn't do
it.
the
he
writing
doesn't
or
produce
nothing?
or anything.
He just
doesn't
does the
He just does the
voiceovers.
voiceovers, and because he wanted to focus on the Orville, which
Ah.
I've heard that's actually pretty good.
That's his space one, right?
Yeah, that's Star Trek comedy kind of thing. But yeah, I really liked especially the first, second, third seasons of Family Guy. So good, just peak comedy almost, especially for the time. I feel like if you watch some of them today, it'd be like, oh yeah, that's a classic, but it's not like that funny.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there's a lot of shows you watch as like growing up, and it's like, oh yeah, that's great. But then you look back on it, and it's like, oh, this like, maybe for the time it was really
Yeah.
good, but especially by today's standards, it just doesn't hold up. I'm trying to think of
How I Met Your Mother was one of those for me. I used to love that show. Now, if I feel like I watch it, I would probably cringe at it a little bit. But maybe it's just because I hated how it ended. I hated how that show ended so much.
I'll admit, I used to watch the Cosby Show growing up. My dad was really into it,
Okay.
and I thought it was hilarious as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I haven't watched it back since, but I assume it's really bad considering the
Yeah.
dude raped up like 50 people.
Probably a little awkward.
Probably a little
So
awkward.
I used to watch Family Matters used to come on at Nick at Night, right? You know, with Steve Urkel and all that. And do you know Steve Urkel actually is in the cannabis industry now?
Really?
He's got one of the biggest growing weed brands in Cali right now. I thought that was awesome.
So is Mike Tyson.
Yep.
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson's doing stuff out there. You ever watch his podcast?
I have not.
Hot Boxing.
Hot
Mike-
Box.
with
Yeah,
Mike
I've heard
Tyson.
of it, but I haven't seen it.
It's pretty good. He's had a couple of them on there.
I'm Mike Tyson. I'm gonna punch your face.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it goes.
No, you're
He's
marshmallow.
gonna fight Jake Paul.
Do you think he's actually
No,
gonna?
he's not.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Really?
So Mike Tyson legitimized Jake. He said, "Yeah, what he's doing is great
Yeah,
for
I saw that
boxing."
clip.
And he's like, "Yeah, I would love to have I'd like to have an exhibition with him." Jake's like, "All right, yeah, thanks for the shout out. I want to get the exhibition done." So after he fights dude now, he wants the fight for this year. It's not going to be like Mike's not going to go all out, obviously.
No,
Neither of them are. Because if it was a legit fight, Mike would probably
yeah.
win.
Instantly.
Also,
He
Mike's,
wouldn't
like,
even
old.
let him. They wouldn't let Steve.
But here's the thing, like Jeff just
Steve
said.
wanted him to punch him in the face, and he was like, "No, I'm not going to do that." And so what he did is he held his arm out stiff, and Steve-O ran into it. And he had a broken, crooked nose, and he broke his nose that night. And a fan made it straight again in the audience.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Holy
Because I believe
shit.
it was on one of the roasts, like some type of roast they were doing.
Oh, did you see the newer Jackass Forever?
Yes, I
I
have.
wanted to see that. I haven't seen it yet.
What's his name? Francis Ngannou
Okay.
punched the guy in the balls. Have you seen this, Jeff?
I haven't. I've seen all the Jackasses except for Jackass Forever.
I have yet to
And I
see
wanna watch it
Jackass
'cause I hear it's the
Paramount.
best one.
Yeah.
It was actually
It's decent.
They got
I
Francis
liked it.
Ngannou punching
It
someone in the balls.
yeah, and
Oh my
this dude is
God.
like, you know, in MMA at least,
I know.
hardest puncher.
He's
for sure.
He's the heavyweight champion right
yeah,
now.
exactly. And this man punched a dude full force in the balls.
He's on record to having the strongest punch ever.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
I guess it's easier than like a vasectomy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's a
Just
little
get
more
punched
efficient.
inside.
Yeah, just get it over with right away. I'm pretty sure I don't know the guy's name. It wasn't Steve-O or
Danger Aaron?
it might have been. I'm not sure, but I heard that afterwards, one of his balls was exploded for the movie.
Oh my god!
Because he did a bunch of other things with his balls in that movie. I remember there were an absurd number of penises in that movie. Like, there's a lot of penises throughout Jackass, but that one had a lot.
Because you can never go wrong with a penis joke. That's the thing.
That's true. That's true. like Steve-O put a bunch of covered his balls with bees.
I fucking remember that, yeah.
Or there were
The starting scene is Chris Pontius with his dick and balls are Godzilla going through a small town.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I like that.
It was pretty funny. It was being puppeted, like by actual puppeteers. His penis was.
it's
You
great
can
too
market
because
that as some like weird porn.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Do you think there's definitely Rule 34 of dinosaurs for sure,
Well,
right?
Yeah.
Dinosaur? Oh, yeah.
If it
Dinosaur, of
exists,
course.
there's porn of it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Someone's probably going to make porn of you now.
Is
He's saying that because someone has. No, I'm joking. No. Not yet. Not yet.
but that's
still
It's
working
like
on it.
someone winked to the camera,
someone
goes home and pulls out a
might
sketchbook.
make porn of me. Yeah. See, the thing is, I wouldn't want to see it, but I would want to see it. Right.
Changing the topic
Why would you change it?
Well, it's got me thinking about it. I saw an advertisement recently to become a sperm donor, and I'm thinking, would I become a sperm donor, and would you guys become a sperm donor? It's
Probably
a
not.
heavy
Why not?
decision to think about.
I'd do it.
Probably
Why
not.
not?
if they took you. Well, I mean, if for some people it's a heavy ramification because you are going to be the biological father of somebody. You are in no
Yeah.
way responsible for them, but then you have to know that somewhere in the world there's a little dude running around and he is a smaller you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
no, I
as long
don't-
as he's not ugly.
You don't know that.
You don't know who the
You won't know.
biological mother is.
Yeah, that's true. If
Do they pay you money?
I think so. I
think
think
Do
so.
some
they
places
allow
at
you to
least.
get ready though? Like, or
Yeah,
do-
they give you
provide
magazines
like
and
TVs
shit.
and
Or
magazines and stuff.
TVs, yeah.
oh, so like
Nowadays,
they give you like a laptop and you can.
I
probably,
imagine.
Probably.
Or you can
Okay,
probably
'cause
just
I
bring
was
your
like,
phone
wait,
in
Bring
there.
your phone with you.
Oh well, then
bro.
that. No, I would absolutely.
Actually, no. Like
Do you get paid, though?
seven physicians stand around you in a room. They say, "Okay, give it to us,"
And they all just
Whoa,
stare
it's
at
gotta
you.
be limp.
and then the whole time they're insulting you. They're like, "Why isn't it come out yet?"
Well, if you guys want to help,
They talk to you. They say the whole time. They said it's so small. You're so much smaller than every other guy.
It really
that's been
takes
in
you
here.
this long.
It really, yeah.
well,
just
if they're all
berating you.
woman and you do it instantly, yeah, I feel like they'd also make fun of you for that.
Or men.
like
Women.
because you came fast.
Yeah, like you finished early.
I tried to get away from the porn with this question.
I'm trying.
fucked up.
Okay, all right.
Hey, you brought
So,
up the
Jeff.
sperm donors, man.
Why Northwestern?
Why Northwestern? That's a good question.
Why do you want to be a sperm donor?
Because I actually think it's a fun idea.
Wait, did you-
Well, and also, I would like, in any way possible, if I could give a couple who's trying to have a kid,
Yeah,
if I
I
can help
think
that
that's
process
good.
in any way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does,
And like, especially because like you're a fairly handsome dude. Like you're not like if it was some ugly schmuck, like no, please don't bring more of you.
Well, big one also is like medical history.
Yeah.
To my understanding, my family doesn't have any like high risk, so that would be helpful. That's what they look for. Is my
So,
understanding.
So is
if
that
you're
why
a
you
woman
chose Northwestern?
trying for a child, then getting a sperm donor is just like the OP move because they all have good genes.
Pretty much, you gotta deal with the fact that your partner is not a part of it.
Just don't tell them.
Honey, guess what happened? It's an act of God. Wink at the camera.
Wink at the camera.
So,
I'll
yeah.
let you in my inn.
But yeah, Jeff. To go back to Daryan's question, well, you already kind of answered this, like because it was
That
well,
was
why
just
for why
subject.
Northwestern?
Northwestern?
Yeah. Is
So
it because
re-
of their sperm bank
Yeah.
program?
Well, number one was the fact that they'll take me as a sperm donor. They have classes for that.
That's great.
That's good. I'm very happy.
But
for
really,
you.
I mean, I just kind of looked up what schools were good for communication. And this was one that I knew a few people who had gone, and they said good things. And I went and toured, and I got like a little bit of an idea. It was COVID. There were no real tours.
Oh.
Mhm.
But I feel like I was very lucky, very privileged in the sense that I had the means to go to most places. And I figured I would do pretty well anywhere. Just like socially, just like I feel like I'm the person who would make would do okay thrown into a situation at any university.
Oh yeah.
Real quick, would
and I
you-
felt like Northwestern people say is good, and it has one of the better programs for what I'm looking for. Might as well try.
Mhm.
And then it was early decision, so when I got in, I had to go, and it was a great decision. I love it there.
For sure. I want to ask you: do you consider yourself an extrovert? Because
Yeah.
I like just watching you in any social situation. You were just on it, like
The way I define it, and I don't know what the true definition is, but I heard this once in like a YouTube video, and I'm like, that explains it pretty well. Is an extrovert's a person who their social battery, or their just battery in general, is recharged by being around other people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And an introvert they can be very personable, they can be incredibly charming,
yeah.
but their social battery is drained, and like they
Right.
need that time.
I'm ready to go
alone.
home.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
And for me, it hit me hard in COVID. Was not terrible,
Mhm.
but I struggled a lot just with the fact that like I couldn't see anybody, and it would drain me. It would drain me so much. I would feel tired after not doing anything in the day. It's because I hadn't seen my friends.
Yeah.
And then being in environments like this, or at school, in the bookstore, or the common areas, and having all those people around and being able to talk to people makes me feel more energized. So I think I'm an extrovert in that sense.
That's really cool.
That's
'Cause
pretty
as
good.
coming from someone that I'd say I'm an introvert, because like you said, like I'm very personable to like other people, and like I can
You're also
I'm
charming.
energetic, and stuff like that. And I could talk to anyone for a while, but after a while I'm ready to go home.
Mhm.
Ready to go home and relax. And I don't even know if I would have graduated if it wasn't for COVID and I was online the whole time, and it was so great. I loved it. I
Mhm.
loved being online.
I hate being online.
Yeah, see, I know a lot of people felt that way.
I used to be very introverted. I just social shit, didn't like it. And then as I got to college, I became more extroverted. Like I'm more open to being in social environments, being there longer. I don't know, maybe that's like I don't know, what it might have just been the whole football thing, honestly, because you're forced to be in front of people,
Mhm.
and then I just became more open to doing more things socially for longer periods of time instead of going here from time A to time B. As soon as time B hits, I'm gone, type shit.
Yeah, I think, I definitely consider myself an introvert, but I think, whatever side of the spectrum you land on, there's valuable characteristics to the other side that you should at least try to like get accustomed to. Like I definitely consider myself a huge introvert, but part of why I even started doing the podcast in the first place is because I wanted to be able. I want really just an excuse to get some practice at talking to people because. Especially after I started listening to podcasts, and especially with Joe Rogan, like his ability to control a conversation and keep it going and constantly be interesting. I thought, like, first of all, it's just a very sexy trait. Like, like it is, like, especially if you're going to be someone in the public space, someone who's going to be a creator, like, you know, whether you like it or not, you know, people will be attracted to, you know, both sides, but I think people really are more attracted to creators that are extroverted. I mean, it's such a typical thing for, you know, to categorize gamers as like constantly loud people, like always yelling at the game, like fuck you, your mom sucked my dick, like, shit like that. Just
She did?
Very.
This is news to me.
Loud, obnoxious, and always controlling the social situation. I kind of lost where my point was going. Well, I just see that, like, there's a lot of value to, even though I'm an introvert and don't really get my energy from talking to other people, I think there's value. And, like, I do appreciate, like, I do, like, care about other people. I think something I needed to work on myself too was like taking interest in other people's lives when I'm not, like, not necessarily that type of person to take that first step in, like, oh yeah, like, what is your life all about? Who are you? I'm a photographer. I'm a videographer.
I don't know who I am anymore.
No.
You guys want to hear something really amazing?
What?
All right, ready?
Your voice.
Holy shit!
Watch this. Ready?
Oh my god, that's gonna sound good on the mic though.
But yeah, I'm a lifeguard, so going like this for 8 hours a day.
Damn!
Fuck
I'm
your
jealous
neck
of
up
all of
really
you.
bad. No, don't be jealous. My neck hurts every single day. It's really bad. I've done this for 3 years now, and every summer I wasn't able to crack my neck until 2019 when I guarded for the first time.
Really? You couldn't crack your neck?
I couldn't crack my neck, and then I was in Stockton's class. I went, that felt awesome, and I kept doing it all the time.
I can't crack anything. For the longest time, I would crack my fingers like this. Oh, I just got one. I can't do it as well now, but I remember practicing that and learning to do it this way specifically. If you're just listening, I have no idea how to describe this to you, but it was literally just because I saw it in an anime.
I forgot that people listen to this.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that in a bad way. I just meant, like, I thought most people watched. Is what
Most people do watch, but there's like a significant portion of the, I was going to say viewership, but more listenership.
I try to watch him on Spotify every once in a while just to give you a penny or two.
Yeah, but I do appreciate it because it does give me a penny.
Yeah, it gives you a penny every listen.
Yeah, that was something I debated on early. It was like, should I just do Spotify and all that so that I force everyone to give me money?
Force everyone to give you money.
Or should I also have
you
the
can
YouTube
force
portion?
that Spotify sponsorship.
Yeah.
Get the video on Spotify. There you go.
Yeah,
that's all you need.
Exactly. But I don't know, like, I kind of knew going into this, like, there's no way I'm gonna make a significant amount of money, not from advertising anyway. Not for like the little sponsorship. I have one little sponsorship that's just it's just the automatic one that the platform gives you.
Yeah.
It's like less than a cent per listen, but yeah. Tell you what, I was gonna go into the financial, like, what I've earned from the podcast. It's not much, but I probably shouldn't.
It's okay.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna drop that one.
That's fine. We know how much millions of dollars you make.
Oh
out
yeah,
of this,
I still live with my parents.
Don't flex too hard.
Yeah.
We've
You gotta
seen
be
your
humble.
fancy studio.
Yeah, my
no
fancy-
one working at Culver's can afford that.
Oh yeah,
No.
no, not a single person. If you guys went into it right now, it's like literally falling apart because I have, like, I use like this foam tape to adhere all all the acoustic foam in there to the walls and the ceiling, and especially on the ceiling since it's summer, all of the glue on everything melted, so it's all falling off. And it's, it kind of works out since I'm moving, because now I can just take it all down really easily, and I don't have to put it back up, or I don't have to try really hard to take it down.
Daniel, Owen mentioned that you're working at Culver's.
Yeah.
And with you moving to Asheville pretty soon, there are no Culver's in Asheville.
There is one
There's a Culver's in Asheville?
what?
like, I don't know if it's in Asheville.
Well, now I
or
feel
like,
less special.
Probably in
I
like
thought
Myrtle
Culver's
Beach.
was just our thing.
No,
That's
there's
what
It's a
it was.
Midwest thing.
It's
yeah.
mostly a Midwest thing. That's where most of the locations are, but they have them
There's-
all across America.
Yeah, like I know there's one in Salt Lake City. I went past.
What?
Yeah.
Get caught up on your
It's
Culver's
not
lore,
far.
Jeff.
It's not really like on the West Coast. Like I know in
Now I feel like a
Washington, it's
dick.
not. It's not there at all. It's not in
Pride
Washington
in
at all.
something that wasn't
I never
unique
saw
to
it,
me.
at least in Fort Lauderdale or Miami in Florida, but I saw it in Salt Lake City. That's the only
What the
place. That's the
fuck?
only
Well,
place I
no
saw
matter
it.
the point, what do you plan on doing when you're in Asheville?
I want to get a waiting job. I think I want to be a server, get some tip money.
Yeah.
I think I could charm my way through. I think, especially like as an extrovert, you could get way better tips. Probably another reason why I kind of wanted to work on my like extroverted attributes that don't come quite as naturally is because you can make really good money as a waiter if you're a good one.
Oh yeah.
I
You
think
just gotta be able to multitask really well.
yeah. And I'll tell you what, like, not to brag or anything, but I am one of the better workers at Culver's.
I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure. You're a good guy. I'm sure.
No,
I'm sure you'd be good anyway.
Yeah, like I'm not the best, but I can at least say that, I do my best there, and it shows.
Yeah.
And
No,
I think
know how that feels, bro.
yeah.
I've had every single manager that I work for tell me that I should have been promoted like at the start of the season.
Mhm.
Every single one. It's great. Why I haven't been, who knows? It's for the higher ups to decide.
Mhm.
But yeah, but when you do your job good and you do it well, it's really nice to feel appreciated.
Mhm.
And it sucks when you don't.
Yeah, it sucks when you just suck at everything. But yeah, I think I wasn't gonna bring it up on this podcast.
Now you are.
The plan was, if I do, well, I kind of spoiled it there. If I do another podcast, I was just gonna drop it at the end, like, oh yeah, this is the last episode of the podcast. Good luck trying to get on if you ever wanted to but didn't yet. But
Now I feel special.
Hell yeah.
Damn, you've been on before.
Yeah, this is.
High five to nobody. I just made it. Yeah.
So high
Jeff,
five?
you've been on
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, but not the Fireside one.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Oh yeah.
It's
But-
a whole
My
different,
first-
whole different league.
For me too. Yeah.
But yeah, I take this, this whole moving thing.
He doesn't
as-
care about any of you that hasn't been on. Fuck y'all.
Kind of true. You have no idea how many people were in my DMs like, hey, I saw your podcast. It's really cool. I was wondering if I could maybe come on and
No.
talk about mental health.
No, what?
And
That one person is listening to this going like, oh.
And to all the people
I-
that's been asked to be on the podcast and said no, fuck you.
fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you,
You're out of
motherfucker.
here.
No
You
comment.
had your chance and you missed it.
You did.
Stupid.
No. But listen.
You're gonna come off such dicks now. That's great.
People are going to be like, well, I didn't want to be on the
Yeah.
podcast anyways. You're going to act like this.
No.
But
But
it just displays all the DMs on screen.
this
Forget the
person,
first
this person,
rule. We're doing
just
first
absolute
and last
dog.
names now. And home addresses.
Fully doxed.
And garage codes.
Did you say pizza's done?
Oh yeah, the cheese is done.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh fuck yeah.
But
We're
what
gonna
was I
take a
say?
break. Quick
Oh, yeah.
intermission.
I have no idea what it was. Oh yeah, but yeah, when I do move, I think I'm just gonna. I kind of want to treat it like kind of just a reset on life, just a chance to reorganize everything, And I think part of that is going to be, retiring the podcast.
Ooh.
Not that, like, I'm going to miss it a ton, but just trying to, I think I need, what I really need if I'm going to progress in my career more than I am right now is just to focus on it more. And the podcast, though it is something I enjoy a ton, and I think I've gained so much just from putting together all the episodes, and I'm super proud of it. It's so draining, especially these Fireside podcasts. Putting together like a large group of people for a podcast. We have 4 people right now, including me and Owen, but usually I'll have 2 more people on, and it's just this huge mass of people on one podcast, and trying to organize that. Jeff, I tried. I asked Daryan, I'm not gonna lie, I asked so many people before you, and just no one worked out.
I think I gotta walk off now.
You gotta walk off, man.
Damn.
Well, people who hadn't been on before, right?
Yeah, like
Damn, I was the last resort.
Thank you.
That
No, you weren't
sucked.
the last resort.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Owen. No, like Daryan,
Wow.
when you came to mind, it was just like, oh, this is obvious. Like, obviously, have Daryan on.
After like 15 other people said no.
Well, the goal is to, when I'm trying to put together, especially these group of podcasts, I want a bunch of people. Like, I don't want to just put a bunch of strangers together and then it's this awkward conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to get people who knew each other decently well, and like we could crack inside jokes that the audience have no insight into, or just like. I'm trying to build a cohesive experience here, and like I asked a bunch of people from Guilford who Jeff knew personally. Like that was kind of the goal. Like I asked Josh, and
Josh was talking to me earlier. He was very regretful. Like he seemed like he was not in shambles, but kind of like upset because it just wasn't working out.
Yeah.
Once he told me, like, I thought I was doing this thing. When he asked and I said no, but then it like got switched after, and then I couldn't get out until after the fact. And then he reinvited me for the week that it was actually happening. And then now he thinks I'm an asshole.
Josh, for the record, I'm not even gonna joke around, dude. I don't view you as an asshole at all. If you're listening. It's gonna be like, yeah,
he thinks
you're
of you
right,
as a
but
massive dick.
not for that reason.
Not an asshole. No.
No, I'm
But
playing
we love
Josh.
Josh.
Yeah.
Under any circumstances, I do want to commend you for doing this, both the Fireside podcast with the bigger groups and just the more
thank
intimate
you.
one-on-one podcast. Because even if it isn't progressing your career in the way that your YouTube might be, just to have these videos, to have these lengthy conversations between people that we know, people that have known each other since middle school and high school in this time, and have collect that and document that and put it
Yeah.
into a medium that's easy to find and listen to is so valuable.
Oh yeah.
Looking back at when you're an adult,
Mhm.
or 20 years
I've
down the
even
line,
looked back at my first one and been like, man, like it's interesting to see, because I mean that was last year with my first one, around this
Yeah.
time last year.
yeah, well, because we're in
Not-
the age of
was
the
it last
internet,
year
we're in the
or
age of
year
media.
before. And
This is content that people born 20 years before us would not have had accessibility to.
No.
So it's super cool that this is something that you've made and that we can all look back on.
Well, thank you, Jeff. You
That's
got
really
me.
sweet.
I'll admit, you got me tearing up just a tad bit.
It's not the first time I've said it. It's the first time I've said it to you. but
Damn,
it's not
so
the
you're
first
not
time
even
that I've said it.
special. He's used this before. It's recycled.
Dude, you have no
Every
idea.
podcast you've been on. I'm glad you put this podcast together.
Specifically about this podcast.
You have no idea how much this podcast meant to me too, because now when people look up like my name or my YouTube channel, your podcast comes up, right? And
Uh-huh.
it's my episode of the podcast, and I like that if you like me as a creator or anything I do, you can go over and see just a little bit more of like how I am, just sitting and talking to one of my friends, right?
Mhm. Yeah, the intention with this was kind of because the YouTube thing was my thing, Like those are my videos. That's all me. That's my personality. That's my work and my creative influence. But the podcast, you know, the name Not the Daniel Strohman Podcast was kind of just came out of my ass. Like I just wanted to name it after me, but I didn't want to name it after me, so I just threw not in front of it. But in this ironic way, it kind of works as this metaphor, as in it's not my podcast. It's really the podcast of the people who come on, and it's like the intention with this was for it to be a means for me to, I guess, provide a way for my friends or people whose ideas or works were that, like, people who I viewed had something to offer. Like, this was the platform that I could give them to share what they're all about. And, you know, this isn't something that I want to give up forever. I think I just need to put it aside so that I can grow my main gig.
I think that's smart. I think that's really smart, actually, because I mean, right now you got to think the people that watch your podcasts are your subscribers on Saint Zesty. Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of it's mostly just, you know, people that know us as well too. And I think to reach that audience of people who don't know any of us trying to watch your podcast as well, you know, you just need to grow as a regular creator, which you're doing slowly and surely, but pretty damn fast. And so I'm excited for you. I'm really excited for you.
I appreciate it. It is like, no, I'll admit, I did expect it to come a little faster.
See, I thought you were going to be, you know, 150 subs, you know, by now, just cranking as much as you can. I didn't think you were going to grow this fast.
Really? Because in my eyes, it feels like I'm growing really slow, but maybe that's just because
you are growing slow, but it's
you're
like
putting in all the work.
You're also putting out a lot of content too.
Yeah.
Right.
So like, I feel like for the amount of content you're growing slow, but as far as any other regular YouTuber, I feel like you're going pretty fast.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. I do put a lot of work into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, you know, this really is like what I want, and it's really cool to see like the progression of it. It as like looking back on old videos, watching my old content, and seeing just like frankly just how cringy a lot of it is, but you know, recognizing that as part of the process, like. That's where I was, but here I am now. I'm funnier. I'm more open about who I am as a person and what I enjoy. I'm more out there. I'm more personable, and just my production quality has gotten so much better. Just seeing the progress of all of it, and especially this year, like now I have a Discord full of people who it's absurd. Like how active my Discord server is, just seeing
it was crazy. I had to mute it just so I
meant to join it.
That's such a compliment. Honestly.
No problem. Because like he added me as a mod, and like I did one thing to help out, and like 2 days later I texted him on a private message. I was like, dude, like there's nothing more like I can really do. Like you've got better people here doing what they need to do. Like you could probably take me off mod. And he's like, no, you're good. And I was like, all right, I'm just probably gonna mute the server and, you know, come in every once in a while then. And I was like, he's like, yeah, you're fine.
But yeah, the point was like, it's weird having fans. I brought this up on the podcast a ton, but it's weird having people just follow your every move online, and like this is how it feels as someone with 400 subscribers. Like, what is it like when you have 1,000, 100,000, 1 million? Like, if this is what I'm going through now, like, yeah, exactly. Like, congrats, Mr. Beast, by the way, on hitting 100 million.
Fuck
shout out to him.
It was out of nowhere.
That shout out was gonna boost him.
Mr. Beast in the comments, like, hey, thanks.
He needs another 100 million just off of your shout out.
Yeah. You're welcome, Mr. Beast. I really made you.
Overpass
The
this
Zesty
series.
Army just goes subscribes to Mr. Beast.
Oh shit, are we the Zesty Army now? Is that the name?
I didn't know what they were.
We didn't have a thing, but
now you do.
Now we do. I guess
the Zesty Army.
Zesty Army, the army of zest.
The Zesters.
The Zesters.
I I always imagine like the saints of Zest, but
I always
that's too
thought they
much.
were the apostles.
The apostles.
The apostles.
That's a big word.
Yeah, it's like
I think we're gonna
my
go with the
8-year-old audience
Zesters.
won't be able
That's
to
just
pronounce
funny.
that.
The 8-year-old audience.
Apostas.
That is a weird thing because I thought that, you know, as a gaming channel, my channel would appeal mostly to like that high school, even like middle school range of people. But I have like a decent range of people from different ages and especially like all over the world. It's weird having people from Poland. Like, yeah, I watch every single video.
Some
Or
84-year-old man in Australia.
I don't reach quite that old. But like I'll have 30-year-olds or like 20-year-olds watching me regularly too, and it's just like, oh, like this is a much broader range than I expected.
Yeah, that's why I like the weed content too, just because there's, I mean, like if you're over 21 or even 18 if you get a medical card, like from 21 and up, there's, you know, everyone that smokes weed is gonna smoke it for the rest of their life probably, and that's just, you know, a group of community that just, you know, can be any age and still just be totally nice to each other and be great.
So wholesome.
Let me
really.
ask you guys this: is being someone who's like kind of in the public eye something that you guys would aspire to, or is that something that, or just, I guess more plainly said, like, is being famous something that you have any interest in? Because I feel like growing up, like that's something that you really, really want. Like, oh yeah, I want to be loved by all these people. I want to have tons of money, and like, you know, I'll be the first to admit I'm a bit of an attention whore. But the more, like,
Oh, yeah.
I do admittedly feed off of the attention a little bit. But the more I get older, it's like, the more I realize, oh yeah, being famous is not that great and is not something that I'm that interested in, and is more of just a consequence of my career than like a main aspect that I want to achieve related to it. Is that like, how do you guys feel about being famous for yourselves?
So for me, I want to be famous in the sports world solely. I don't want non-sports people knowing about me. I want to be known for what I'm doing. I want to be known by those people. I don't want some weirdo who lives in the UK being like, oh yeah, I know about that guy. Like, I'm a big fan of his. Like that, I find that fucking weird. Like if he's
like, you don't want to be stopped in the street constantly.
I don't want that. Like, I want to be seen on TV coaching the game. I don't want to be hoarded by people like you see celebrities are. Like, I don't like that part.
Yeah. Owen, did you want to?
Owen, you were gonna say something.
You were going to say something?
No,
you said something.
I was gonna say, so like, I don't know, with doing YouTube stuff or anything like that, I don't expect to ever be famous, but you know, if people knew some idea of me and genuinely liked, I just want the content I create to be liked by as many people as possible.
Yeah.
And that's all that cares. I don't care if they don't like me. I don't care if they don't like my content. As long as they're doing something about it, something, you know, maybe, because there's, you know, because I think of YouTube, there's some people I like to watch them as a person, and there's some people I like to watch just for their content. I couldn't give a shit what they do, but like, I like this series they do. But, and I don't know, I hope to get to some level. And even if I've got 9 people following me, that's 9 people that I can make, you know, they might have a smile in their face when they see me in their sub box, right? You know, so like that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
That's really
Jeff,
sweet.
is your goal to be some uber mega influential radio host or director or something along those lines,
He
or is it
already
more of
is.
like you already are, really?
Thank you. It is not.
No, I assume so.
It is not. My
as the extrovert of the group.
Oh, thank you. I just don't really understand the ramifications of being famous at any level. You know, when you think about a famous person, you think about the A-list actor. You
Right,
think about that scene. You think about like that clip of Tobey Maguire getting harassed by paparazzi, and he's like, "Get out of the fucking way!"
Right. Yeah.
But like that is so terribly unachievable by anyone.
Yeah.
And truthfully, if somebody's to be famous on an achievable level, it's probably like town size, or it's city size, or it's niche community size. And I don't know enough about that kind of famous to know if I'd want it or not. The path that I'm going down would not have me be famous in any respect, but it would have me working with people. And I think I kind of learned, I like attention, but I like attention from friends. I don't know if I would love attention from people.
Yeah.
Just like random people.
No.
So I'm content with just being a part of a community where people know who you are, but you're not special in any way.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And that's-
You're not like there's no ranking to it.
Right.
Oh yeah,
right.
that's one of the things I'd say is like I guess I'm not really an attention whore. I like the attention because like I feel like if you're gonna do YouTube or anything like that, like film yourself like that, or even music, filming yourself and recording yourself like that. You gotta like a little bit of the attention.
Right.
And I feel like it's not much the attention as so much as like I really truly appreciate someone telling me I like this and I think you did a good job at it. Just even one person telling me that of something I create, that's enough for me to be like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm satisfied with life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would do anything to get that pretty much.
Yeah.
So who knows?
I will say I have been recognized just a couple of times.
I've been
Really?
recognized because of you.
You
I told
me
you. I
about
told
that.
him about
Okay,
it.
you wanna
So
talk
I'm
about this a little
working.
more?
I'm working at Walmart. I was putting out the bananas. I was walking back to the back room because probably to go jack off or some shit.
You actually do that at work?
No.
Now I don't want to shop at Walmart.
How do you think all of our fruit stays fresh?
I'm thinking. I just heard.
Misters are actually
I just heard
just
touching the
employee-
bananas, and then let me just go. Please myself.
No, I don't. I do steal
Touch
though.
him more.
No, I
cut
work
that
in.
out.
There's no cameras in our coolers, so
No,
I
yeah.
just eat fucking strawberries all fucking day.
Oh yeah.
Ah,
Oh yeah.
Darian,
if my
hate
boss
to
is
break to
watching,
you, you're
that
on
was a joke.
undercover boss. You're fired.
Matt Walmart himself.
Oh fuck!
It's me. I'm way up there.
No, but what the fuck? No, so I was walking back, and this dude comes up to me, and this motherfucker goes, "Hey, were you that dude on the podcast?" I was taken aback. I was like, yeah, I was. He's like, "Oh, cool." I think he said something. I was like, "All right, yeah, cool, yeah, okay." I walk back I'm like so fucking confused. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's awesome.
My
See,
goal has been achieved. I've made Daryan famous.
I've been recognized by people that go to Auburn or and they'll be like, I think I've seen you before.
Dude,
and I was
it's
like,
kinda how I'm
and I'll be
the
like,
person I'm seeing
oh
right
yeah,
now.
I ate mayo one time on the smart board, and they're like, oh yeah, you're that guy. Oh yeah.
No,
You ate all that mayo? That must have been terrible. And it's actually Miracle Whip, but it's okay. No.
Daryan, you being recognized is almost more endearing than me being recognized myself.
That's funny. That's really
Like-
funny. We're a very recognizable person with the hair and the
Well,
glasses.
true.
You know?
Yeah, what's worse is that I was recognized by our then defensive coordinator, and it made me feel really uncomfortable because he was an asshole. He's since fallen off the face of the earth.
Mhm.
But he's like, oh yeah, I recognize you because the hair, the voice, and all of that. I'm like, oh, cool, awesome, yeah. Go away,
yeah.
asshole, you're a dick. But no, it weirded me out. I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
it's so weird.
Yeah, I got recognized at Culver's.
By your coworkers?
No.
By your boss?
No, I would
You're
hope so.
Daniel Strohman, right?
Yeah, you work for me.
Yeah, but I was literally cleaning the windows, and then I'm in my full Culver's get up. I'm cleaning the windows like some schmuck, and then this guy walking out. I was getting the door for him, and he was like, "You stream, don't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And he's like, "I watch you sometimes. You play Elden Ring." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." And I didn't really know how to handle it. I should have plugged more. I should have been like, "Oh, are you in the Discord? You should make sure you join that. Also, subscribe to the podcast."
Yeah.
But
Just start
I was just
advertising
like,
every order.
nice. Like next time you're in the chat, say hi. But yeah, that was.
Did someone come in your chat and be like, "Hey, I saw you while you were washing the windows and opened the door for me at Culver's"?
No.
You
No,
got
it never
you got
happened.
afraid. You got a little
Yeah,
timid.
And then the second
They say
time
never meet your heroes.
I was actually at Walmart.
Oh.
I was ordering Munster cheese from the deli, and the guy who was grating my cheese, he was like, "Aren't you the guy with the podcast?" And like, I was very out of it that day. I definitely didn't get much sleep. I was like, "Yeah, that's me." He was like, "Oh, cool," and then he gave me my cheese, and I went on my way. It's just like people I don't know at all, and it's just like odd, you know.
Yeah, I've only been asked for a picture 20 times.
Only
but-
20
I had to fight people off to get here.
Yeah. You pulled up and like you had to go into my house to get away
There's
from everyone.
screaming
I know.
girls surrounding you. They were hanging on it while
Jeff
you were driving.
Snedegar.
It's crazy.
Sign
being
my
able to
titties,
win.
please.
What that crowd
It's
of people
hard.
was.
It's hard. Yeah, actually, bro, there was so much. I went to a concert with them. There was so much people pressing up on him. It was
Uh-huh.
I know.
crazy.
People, we went to the Jeff Rosenstock concert, but
Oh.
most people were for the Jeff, me.
Yeah.
Jeff
They were there 'cause
Snedegar.
they knew
Yeah.
I said, hey.
It was nice having to provide side entertainment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we've been talking for quite a while. I have no idea. Let me check real quick. I'm just curious.
I am house
couple
sitting.
minutes.
So I
Be
probably
about
need to get
2
back.
hours.
I got
It's
jack
actually-
shit.
It has actually only been 2 hours.
It's been 2 hours.
Yeah, it was-
Yeah.
I
we
thought
got-
it was way longer than that.
My
but-
phone's been vibrating quite a bit. I
Yeah,
think,
you're just so famous.
It's
from
all
the
those
podcast.
people. It's all those people
it's all,
recognizing
it's
you.
all of Jeff's people that are coming to me now.
Darius, I heard you were on another podcast. Is this true?
Yeah.
Where can I watch?
There's actually a
Right.
crowd of people behind a barrier that's
set up
watching
It's
us.
your boss. Darius, so many people are at the deli bar. They're looking for you.
Where are our strawberries?
Yeah. Where the hell have all the strawberries been?
Shit. I actually had my schedule. Today was the first day that I've had a Saturday off ever.
Congrats.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I don't
So it
work
worked
another
out.
Saturday, like forever, pretty much,
That's
unless
awesome.
I want it back. So this is the first thing I've done on a Saturday
Oh.
besides work.
Was it worth it?
awesome.
Fuck yeah, it was.
Yeah, this was actually a
Hit
very
the fucking
pleasant
subscribe button and the bell.
surprise. Word.
bell.
The bell.
For this dying
You guys want-
podcast.
The podcast that
Final
I'm either
episode,
ending
hit the
now
bell.
or in another episode.
I was really
okay.
debating it, but now that Daryan told me to.
Yeah.
Now you gotta.
Now you have to put the bell on.
Yeah.
Put the
Guys,
fear of God in me.
there's gonna be another episode
Yes, sir.
at some point.
Yeah, like
That's some-
5-10 years down the road.
Maybe,
Yeah, maybe.
To the reunion episode
Maybe.
of these four people.
possibly. No.
But yeah,
Probably
is
not.
there any last remarks you guys wanted to make? Anything you wanted to talk about? Is there anything we need to plug?
Oh, I know Jeff's got something to plug.
Oh yeah, go check out American Dendrite on the Instagram.
American
and when
Dendrite?
it comes out, maybe at a film festival in 2 years. I don't know.
Is that really how long it's gonna take to
year and a
get to a?
half.
Oh, really?
It's-
Oh, wow.
It's
Post-production
like a
takes a
feature
while.
length. It's like 90
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Holy
Okay.
At least that's what the director was saying. I was just an assistant.
They were
camera.
trying to
Yeah.
find a time where, it wouldn't steal money and stuff away from other movies.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be
It's
the
gonna
number
be so
one.
big.
Yeah,
number
it's gonna
one
be
box
crazy.
office.
People-
Especially because you brought it up on the
People
podcast.
love,
Right.
love little interviews and shots of nature.
Oh yeah.
That's all it is.
Those are my two favorite things: shots of nature and interviews.
I'm definitely
Fuck yeah,
gonna
nature.
watch it when it's out.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
It's gonna be long ass lines at each theater.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Darian, did you want to plug anything?
Fuck, go Regents.
Go Regents! Word.
We're gonna go 10-0 this year. We're
Go
gonna
Regents,
be the
baby.
D3 national champs.
Owen, our great chef, has a YouTube channel where he does things.
I do things
It's pretty nice.
of we mess around with some plants
Some
Of
plants.
the herbal
of
variety.
the herbal variety. You can find me at Scrimbo Endo.
And how do you spell that, Owen?
SKREMBOINDO.
That wasn't for fans. That was just for Daniel, so he can spell it when he puts it in the description.
Yeah. And did I hear did I hear that you have an Instagram for that as well?
Ooh,
Holy
I
shit.
do. It is.
What?
It's the same thing, except
exact
there's an
same thing.
underscore in between the two words.
No way. So
Can you
if you
spell that
want to
for
see
us, too?
some herbal content, make sure you check out Scrembo Endo.
It's been
on-
dead for a couple months, but I'm coming back. Don't worry.
You're gonna be making more
Right.
content.
You've
Of
been on the
course.
most massive tea break of all time.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Guys, it's just like the weeds actually just consumed me. Sorry, guys, I'm just smoking too much weed. I can't film it.
Every time you try, there's too much smoke in front of the screen.
Guys, it's just too.
My lens is fogged up.
It's so too fucked up. I
Fuck.
can't.
Hey, Hotbox too hard.
This is a great episode.
For
guys.
real. No,
yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised by how well this went.
Yes.
Thank you
it
for
was-
having us on, Daniel.
Of course,
Yeah.
you guys have no idea how stressful it has been trying to put together another episode.
Well, now you never
Owen
have to.
knows. I've hit him up with plans and had to change them many times throughout the weeks, and he's been very patient. So I appreciate that, Owen.
Yes.
Yeah.
No problem.
I'm not gonna name any names, but the people who I asked to be on before, y'all suck.
Yes.
Yeah, fuck off. Fuck you.
do.
No, don't fuck off, because
Oh.
y'all are my friends. But
Oh.
that was very.
You blew that out.
You're my
Just blurt it
friends
out.
too, but fuck you.
Yeah. And you
wanna
are
give a
not
fuck
getting
you too?
another episode.
I don't know who they
Never.
are.
Yeah, he doesn't know him. He doesn't
Right.
I was not involved in this
He was
decision.
not involved in this.
If there's any shit talking you need to
It's
get out,
actually
get it
Jeff's
out now.
best friend.
It's my mom.
We've had Jeff's mom.
Daniel's been
Jeff's
texting my
mom.
mom like she's flaking so much. She just won't put down a date.
We've tried for months to get Jeff's mom.
Jeff's mom,
miss
why?
Oh no.
Why do you flake on me so hard?
She's a busy woman.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure she is. Taking care of that alien that lives
Taking
in your
care of me.
house. Both of her little aliens. For real, thank you guys. And thank you everyone for watching/listening. If there's another episode, it's gonna be awesome. But I'll see you guys later. Subscribe to my main channel. All right, bye everybody.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh wait, guys, can we do like a quartet? I'll start off with like a goodbye, and then Owen will go into the goodbye. Like you get it. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.